All right, everybody, welcome to JG9 Live. Number 2 tonight, we have the Orlando Guardians against the Houston Roughnecks. Apologies for if you saw the stream. For whatever reason, the stream got deleted. I'm not sure what exactly happened. Not the stream that happened earlier today. The original Guardians Roughnecks stream. It lasted like a second. I don't know what exactly happened, but we're back. We're good to go. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is going to be a fun stream, just like the last one. Crazy game. Wouldn't necessarily call it a great game. Rod Woodson with some very questionable coaching decisions. Luis Perez, very hot and cold, but a very interesting game nonetheless. Arlington won the inaugural game by 2 points over the Vegas Vipers, and now we have game number 2 tonight. Orlando Guardians against the Houston Roughnecks. So with that being said, welcome everybody to JG9 Live. My name is Derek9. Thank you guys for tuning in on this Saturday night, staying with me as we go to another XFL game. You see the scorebook on the bottom. The red box is the 3 timeouts. You get 1 challenge per game. That's the blue box. We have yardage, we have distance, we have everything like that. So keep that in mind. If you want to have your question moved to the front of the queue, we have the donation leaderboard. Otherwise, I'm just going to go in the order that I see the questions. So let's get this stream started, and welcome to this incredible night. Orlando fan here all day, every day. I'm literally on my couch in Orlando. All right, I know who you're pulling for tonight. What's up, JG9? Do you think this broadcast will be better than the first? There were so many mistakes in the first broadcast that ESPN and ABC had. It'd be tough to do worse. If they show every snap, it's an improvement. Fulham won. How about Fulham? Yeah, I am shocked they won today. I'm absolutely shocked they won today. The goal came completely against the run of play. Fulham did not look that good, but look, 1-0 win against Brighton. And that moves us up to 6th in the table. We are 3 points off of the Champions League, which is insane to think about. If you told me we'd be 3 points off of survival at this point, I probably would have believed you. 3 points off the Champions League, I don't even know what to say to that. I really don't even know what to say to that. It's been a heck of a season. You got to love what Silva's doing with Fulham. Transfers have been spot on. It's just been a phenomenal season. Phenomenal season. Houston Roughnecks, will they win the title? Cole McDonald's an interesting quarterback. Cole McDonald is a very interesting quarterback. Showed some flashes at Hawaii. Got a bit of a weird throwing motion, but if he can tighten that throwing motion up so it doesn't look like he's throwing a javelin. And it looked that way in the promo footage that they shot for the XFL documentary, episode 1 that came out before the game earlier today. If that happens, I really like Cole McDonald. I think Houston wins this game. Do they win the title? Again, I have no clue. I have no sense of who's going to be a title favorite. We haven't even played a game yet, but... Oh, no, I can't complain about a win. Look, I've been a fan for a decade. I've been a fan for 3 seasons when they've been in the Premier League, and they got relegated all 3 seasons. I can't complain about a win. It's just usually that when we win, we either dominate. It's not against them want to play like that, but I'm happy. I'm really happy. Ready to see some more boneheaded coaches' decisions. Oh, man. I don't think anything's stopping Rod Woodson. Today. What's an unpopular NFL uniform opinion you have? Mine is that the Dolphins' current unis and logo is better than they've ever had. Ooh. All right, that's definitely unpopular. I definitely don't agree with that, but that is unpopular. My unpopular opinion, I love the Jets uniforms. I think people just hate them because they're not winning games. But the Jets uniforms are very, very good. Very, very good. The mustard Jags unis also didn't look that bad in person. On TV, they looked atrocious. Buying them, they looked atrocious. But in person, it wasn't that bad. Will there be a merger between the XFL and the USFL? I don't see it just yet. They play it 2 different times. How do you feel about the 2022 Jags first rounder? Trayvon Walker and Devin Lloyd. Look, Walker, he still is a work in progress in terms of pass rushing. But against the run, he's brilliant. Against the run, we don't beat the Titans. We don't make the playoffs without Trayvon Walker. We got Walker to beat the Titans. I really like Walker as a run stopper. If he can get some pass rushing moves, we're good to go. And if he can just keep his head on straight, there were a few roughing calls that he had that were not good on his part. And then Lloyd, up and down, but the flashes are there. The flashes are absolutely there. Is Gordon Ramsay a giant? I don't think he's that tall. I don't think he's super tall. Fulham stays up this time. Oh, absolutely. They stay up. Silva's a good manager, and they've done some very good transfer bids this summer. Oh, yeah, they're staying up. They're staying up. There's no doubt about it. The question is, how high can we go? That's the question, which I never thought I'd say. I thought, okay, look, if we can finish like 12th, I'll take it. Now it's like we might go Europa League, which I'm not sure if I necessarily want just because we don't have the squad depth, and I don't want it to be a situation like Sheffield or like Burnley where you go to Europe too fast and then all of a sudden your squad depth's depleted and then you lose games in the Prem and then you're fighting a relegation battle. But look, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. My complaint is that we might be too good. Yeah. You Dolphins should go back to the checkered end zone. Go back to what they had in the 70s. Go back to what they had in the 70s. Very festive occasion for the Capitals Hurricanes game at Carter Finley. Yeah, I've got that on one screen. Hurricanes are up 1-0. 90 seconds into the game. I've also got the NBA All-Star on another TV. The skills challenge never does it for me, but the three-point contest, slam dunk, that's where it's at. I just want like another Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon thing, but the dunk contest has lost so much of its luster. Let's see. Houston had P.J. Walker at QB, a.k.a. Tom Brady. Yeah, they don't really have that this time around. But P.J. Walker was the clear-cut MVP of the XFL back in 2020. Oh, look, Cole McDonald, he's not bad. I will say, Cole McDonald, his throwing motions were, but he was a very accurate QB at Hawaii. He can throw deep down the field. I think Houston wins this game simply because I think Paxton Lynch is going to start for Orlando, and he's been terrible everywhere he's been. So, look, the first game, you just got to go off the QBs. Which one will survive for longer, USFL or XFL? USFL is saving a lot of money. So I think they survive longer. They're saving money. And there he is, Paxton Lynch on the screen. 8 minutes to kick off. Speaking of the uniforms, do you think the Broncos should change their uniforms? If so, to what? I'd go back to what they had in the 80s. I don't really like their current look. I heard the first game was good. Is that so? I mean, the quality was about what you'd expect. The special teams play was bad. The line play on the offense was bad. But there weren't a whole lot of mistakes. Like, quarterbacks made all the throws they were supposed to. There weren't any missed throws, really. Broken tackles, there weren't too many. Drop passes weren't a lot. I mean, quality was there. The quality was there. It's just special teams is lagging, offensive line is lagging, which always happens with new leagues. Always happens at the start. That's why these games are low scoring at the start. That's why the over-under is so low to start off. But coaching is where I'm concerned, because Rod Woodson made some boneheaded decisions. Absolutely boneheaded decisions. The USFL has Fox backing as well. They have Fox finances. They're in for 3 years. I don't know what is going on outside. Ignore that motorcycle all the way in the back. I don't know what is going on outside. But USFL has Fox backing for 3 years. 3 years is a lifetime for these spring leagues, so keep that in mind. Thoughts on Wade Phillips as a head coach? We all know he's a great DC. In the NFL, no. But in a league like this, look, he's had some success as an NFL head coach. He's had so many stints. We know what he is at this point, but you know what you're getting out of Wade Phillips. You're getting a good defensive team. You're getting a team that, for the most part, plays to their potential. Not really past it, but they do play to it. So Wade Phillips is a good head coach. For a league like this, yeah. For a league like this, it's good. How do you feel about Carr coming to the New Orleans Saints? It's better than what they have. Carr comes, he probably wins you the division, but, I mean, do you really want to devote all that money to Carr when you have money issues as it is, and when Carr's not the guy? I don't know about that. I mean, you still don't have weapons. Remember, Carr was not that good this year, and he had a plethora of weapons to throw to. He's got no one in New Orleans. He's got no one. Is this better than the USFL's entire season? I mean, let's go for what it is. The USFL quality of play was terrible last year. I ragged on that league, and look, I want it to succeed. More football is good for everyone. More football means more people are happy, more people have jobs. It's better for me. The quality was just terrible. It was just absolutely terrible. This actually looked like football. I remember the last precinct. You're one of 10 people. You're one of about 10 people that remember that. Do you think the Bruins are a lock in the East for winning the Cup? I've learned never to count out the Lightning. And look, the Hurricanes, when they get hot, they are good. I think it's going to be between the Bruins, the Lightning, and the Canes. And I don't know, something about this feels like Carolina's year. Something about this feels like Carolina's year, which I don't want because I don't like Tom Dundon for the, I like what he did with Topgolf. I don't like what he did for the AAF, but something about this just feels like Carolina's year. They've gotten on quite a few hot streaks this year. Don't let this game distract you from the fact that the LA Angels have arguably the two best players in baseball and will be lucky to win 80 games and lose the Babe Ruth for nothing. I feel so bad for Angels fans. That was such a tease with Moreno saying I'm going to sell the team, and then he was like, psych, I'm not doing it anymore. I feel so bad for them. How would you rank the last 5 Super Bowl winners? I don't know about the list, but all I know is I think the 2021 Bucks is the best. Well, 2020 Bucks, they were a wild card, so let's think. The last 5 winners. So we're going 53 to 57. So we're talking the 2018 Pats, the 2019 Chiefs, the 2020 Bucks, the 2021 Rams, and the 2022 Chiefs. How would I rank them? I would say this year's Chiefs are at the top. I would say the Rams are at the bottom. I'd say Rams at the bottom, Chiefs at the top. Stuff because the Bucks were really 2 different teams. They were a different team in the first half of the year versus the second half of the year. If it's how they ended the season, I put the Bucks at 2. I would put the Chiefs at 3 and the Pats at 4. I'd probably do that. But Rams are definitely at the bottom. Why was Next Level Chef or the Super Kitchen rated so badly last week? Look, I think the problem I'm looking at, please tell me that's not the live shot of the stadium. Please tell me that is terrible. If that's the attendance, oh boy, that's terrible. Please tell me that's not the actual shot. I know there were only 12,000 fans today in Arlington, which I was shocked by. It looked like 18,000. It really looked like the same number they got for previous games back in 2020. But I guess not. But that shot did not look promising. Hopefully we get a better angle sometime soon. But why was it rated so badly? I went over it in the video to some extent. Problem is that, number one, you had a countdown clock. I don't know why you would ever have a countdown clock for a lead-out show. It's basically telling people you have 3 minutes to change the channel. You have 2 minutes to change the channel. Some of the best rated lead-out programs, there was no countdown clock. It just went straight into it. It was... They sign off at the studio, and it's an all-new episode starts right now, and they get right into it. They don't do a countdown clock with an outro and everything like that. They don't do that. Also, you air the show before, after football, and the ratings just plummeted after. Again, I think some people misinterpreted the video to some extent. Like, they said in the comments, of course people were going to turn off the show. No one, saying there are people watching the Super Bowl versus a TV show after, that's not going to happen. People always turn it off. That's not the point. People turned this one off more than they turned off any other show before. The ratings were the lowest they've ever been. The percentage of viewers that they kept was the lowest ever. It wasn't that there was a drop-off. A drop-off is a non-story. This was a historically bad drop-off. I know they lost, but... Oh, which Chiefs? 2022. 2022. I know they lost, but I hope your Eagles friends had a great time. Oh, they had a great time. They loved the weekend. They said it was one of the best weekends of their life. The experience, they said, was great. And yeah, the loss hurt, but they were just so happy and so grateful and so thankful. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun having them around for the week. It's a lot of fun. Falcons fan here, they should get rid of their current uniform setup. Amen to that. And go back to either their 90s setup with the UGA, like silver breeches, bottoms, or their current helmets. Yeah, honestly, the 90s look was great. The 90s logo, the 90s unis, just do that. Any players that were from the 2020 rosters that are still there? There are players that were in the XFL back then. Perez is one of them. But in terms of the same team, I'm not sure. Where can I watch the game for free? I know it's on ESPN. If you want to watch it for free, I would... If you're going to stream, do so in an eastern direction, stream east, and then the last 3 letters of the alphabet. That's what I did for some NFL games this year, because Sunday Ticket, you only get 1 game full screen. Even if you paid for the account. Yeah, it's also on FX. It's not on ABC. ABC is the Stadium Series. Yeah, the Saints have Olave. Who else? Who else do they have? Like, legitimately, who else do they have? How did I become a Jags fan? That's a good question. I get that a lot. Really started watching football in 2005, and I saw them beat the Bengals on Sunday Night Football, saw them beat the Steelers on a pick 6 in OT, and was like, that's my team. I didn't want to root for a New York team. I knew that from the start. I did not want to root New York. So the Jags just made sense. Do you think any chance someone would take a trade for Dak? No. First up, the Cowboys would not trade him. I don't think the Cowboys would trade him. If he becomes available, yeah, but I don't think the Cowboys would even trade him. Favorite hockey team? No, I just like watching it. I guess I have a soft spot for the New York teams, soft spot for the Coyotes, but I don't really have a favorite hockey team now. Beginning of the season, but who do you think will win the championship? Oh, I mean, I said Vegas at the start, but that was before I knew Rod Woodson was just a terrible, terrible head coach. It's early. I mean, I think Luis Perez figures it out. There's so much talent on that defense. I'm still going to stick with Vegas for now, but Houston, their roster looks awfully good. All right. Where am I from? I'm originally from New York. Now I live in Phoenix. Interesting that the old Rangers Stadium is now a football stadium. Same thing with the Braves. Turner Field, they repurposed that to Georgia State. All right, kickoff, and we are underway. Take it at the 10, out to the 20, and the drive will begin at the 22-yard line. What the heck are those helmets? By Houston? Oh my, I don't know how I feel about those helmets. I gotta be honest, I don't know how I feel about those helmets. They are certainly unique. I get what they're trying to do with the Texas flag. Your knowledge is astonishing. Thank you so much. Are fans not allowed to go to the upper decks? They close off the upper decks because it costs money and because you have to sell the lower deck first. It's a money-saving cost. That means more people running concessions up there, more security up there. Keep everyone in the lower deck, and then once you can sell that out, then you go with the upper decks. We're not going to see the upper decks for a while. Maybe St. Louis, and maybe if they're good, San Antonio. But upper decks, I'm not banking on it. Gain of 3 on the run there, so it'll be 2nd and 7. Again, for those who did not watch the first game, the clock runs on everything except inside 2 minutes. So any incomplete passes, anything like that, the clock will run it. So you measure to speed up the game. Lynch back to throw. Throw is a bit behind. It is going to be caught a bit short of the first down. That is caught by, is that Cody Latimer? It is Cody Latimer on the grab. All right. Former second-round pick of the Broncos back in 2014. I don't know what they were thinking when they drafted him. I think it was on the Giants, too, for a bit. So former Bronco bust to former Bronco bust connection there. 3rd and 1. The give is up the middle, and they're going hurdle. Oh, what a run! What a run right there by Jermaine Martin. Hurdles them. Looked like there was nothing. That looked like it was going to be a loss of 2. Gets the first down. I am interested to see Kelvin Taylor on the Guardians roster. He's the backup running back. They only have 2 running backs listed on the roster. The son of Fred Taylor, Jaguars legend, Florida legend. That was a heck of a run there. Gain of 9. Jags players in the XFL. TJ Barnes is in it. Sloter is in it. He played on the preseason squad for us a few years ago, or this past season. It's a draw play. It's a handoff to the wide receiver, Dedrick Thomas. Gain of 9. It'll be 2nd and 1 right near midfield. There's some other Jags players on there. I'm just trying to remember who. Leon Jacobs, I know, is in there. There's a few Jags players. Yeah, XFL will, I think, do better this time around. Again, the second time wasn't really their fault. Obviously, COVID kind of hit, but I'm just concerned about some of these market selections. Like, you guys know my thoughts on Vegas, I think that was a whiff. The Guardians branding, you know my thoughts on that. Whiff there. Some of the decisions were questionable. All right, they take the deep shot there. Incomplete pass to Charleston Rambo. Fine with the call. Second down, take a deep shot means you're probably going to run the ball here on third down. You're near midfield, so it's probably 4-down territory. So I take the shot on second down. I have 2 plays to get 1 yard. I am totally fine with that play call. Let's see. Conventional wisdom says they're going to run. It is to Martin, and he gets to the outside again. That's twice now that looked like there was nothing, and he broke to the outside, and it's going to be in Houston territory at the 43-yard line. 1st and 10. Jermaine Martin. I mean, some great runs so far. Some absolutely great runs so far. Announcer's voice and play style sound like Mike Goldberg. I'm watching this on mute, so I have no clue. Can't be any worse than that. Terrell Buckley is Orlando's head coach. Yeah, I don't think there's any head coaching experience. I did a video on Buckley, though. I did a video on him. Oh, you got to catch that. He caught it cleanly, or he did not catch it cleanly. I mean, he bobbled it. I think that's a catch. Tie goes to the receiver. That should not be a pick. Yeah, that should not be a pick. That's a first down for Houston. Got to catch that cleanly, though. Holy cow, got to catch that ball cleanly. The 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Bobbled and caught by Eli Rogers, the former Steeler. We saw Martavis Bryant, former Steeler, earlier today with the Vipers, and now another Steeler here. Quick out route there. Not a whole lot there. Cody Latimer with his second grab of the drive. Pickup of about 2. We'll bring up 2nd down at the 30-yard line. Yeah, I did a video because he was also drafted to play baseball. Bit of a bust with the Packers, but it's part of that infamous 92 draft class. One of the worst of all time. Station, this is on ESPN and FX. Screen pass. He's caught a nice block and is able to pick up about 3 yards. Caught by Eli Rogers, his second catch of the drive. Brings up about 3rd and 5. Now, one of the interesting things, special teams play has been a bit weird so far. So you have to wonder, at what point do you go for on 4th down? 4th and 5 from this range? Do you try the 44-yard field goal with Jose? I don't know. We'll see what happens here. 3rd down, Lynch drops back. He's got time. He's going to scramble outside the pocket, take off, and now he throws down the sideline. That is a horrible throw. That's the Paxton Lynch we know and love. Wait, that's a touchdown? Wait, what? Wait, that's a touchdown? Wait, I thought that, wait a second. Wait a second. No, tie goes to the receiver. That did not look like a tie. No way. That looked like a pick. If that's a touchdown, that's the luckiest touchdown Lynch is ever going to throw in his career. It's Latimer. There's no way. There is no way. That is the Fail Mary all over again if that's a touchdown. Tie goes to the receiver, which I got on the first one. That's not a tie. That was clearly. Unless I'm missing something. That did not look like simultaneous possession. I'm not updating the score graphic just yet. I'm not updating that just yet. I need confirmation that that was a touchdown. If it is an interception, it's a pick by Sean Davis. If it's a touchdown, it's the greatest catch of Cody Latimer's career. I don't know. We got to see. Horrible throw. That's literally tucked inside Davis's elbow as he goes down. That looks like a touchdown. I mean, a pick. That absolutely looks like a pick. Unless he came back with it the second time, but I don't know. Is there enough to overturn it? That's the question. Again, tie goes to the receiver. I don't think Latimer's ever really in control of that. It looks like he's just got his hands on it. But he's holding it with Davis. With Davis having the bulk of the control. Not reading the chat right now. This play is our first real officiating controversy of the season. Yeah, and that attendance does not look good. That attendance does not look good. That might be 9,000 people in the stands, maybe. That does not look promising. Houston drew like 20,000 fans per game or something like that back in 2020. I would be stunned. They're taking a long time to look at this, which is good. This is an important play. I don't know at any point whatsoever where Latimer had possession, where Cody Latimer had possession. Either way, horrible throw, horribly underthrown ball. Lynch has, he's looked a bit rocky so far. A lot of throws behind his receivers on that opening drive. Yeah, they drove down the field, but a lot of throws behind the receivers. You can thank Jermaine Martin for a lot of the success on that drive. All right, moment of truth. Moment of truth. This is... The fact they're taking this long, is there enough to overturn it? It's a touchdown. It's a touchdown. Wow. That is a touchdown. I am blown away. I am blown away. I think if that was ruled a pick, it would have stood as a pick. They're going to go for 2 from the 5-yard line. Again, 1 point from the 2, 2 points from the 5, 3 points from the 10. Oh no, that call is very, very questionable to me. That does not look like not enough evidence, yeah, but it should not have been ruled a touchdown in the first place. It should have been ruled a pick. It looked like Davis had complete control of that ball. All right, Lynch, he is in trouble, and he, as he falls to the ground, just throws it into the dirt. So it is 6-0. Pressure on the play there. But it looked like number 96, Jack Heflin. But with 10:01 left, Guardians score on their opening drive. Every team so far has scored on their opening drive. Every team. It happened in Vegas, happened with Arlington, happened with Orlando. Every team has scored on the opening drive. That does not look like a touchdown to me. That did not. Heck of an effort by Cody Latimer. 35 yards on that drive. Forgot he converted to tight end for this. Forgot that he is now listed as a tight end. That is the XFL's version of the Fail Mary. I don't know how that was a touchdown. I really don't know how that was a touchdown. I guess there wasn't enough to overturn it, but at least from what I could tell, Sean Davis had control. I think Houston's going to feel hosed on that drive. The first play, Ty goes to the receiver. It looked like I think it was Latimer on the first play. He had control. This one, oh man, this one I don't know. This one I just don't know. Yeah, it's a horrible throw. I just don't. We're seeing the reverse angle. I don't know how you can say that Latimer had 50% of, because simultaneous goes to the receiver. Anything more than that, it goes to the defensive back. I don't know how you can say that Latimer had at least 50% of the possession. I don't know how you can say that. It's just the eye test, the sniff test. You know it when you see it. That did not look like a touchdown, but 6-0 early on. Favorite Burger King commercial. The original with the Whopper, Eat Like a King. I don't like the new one with the car. I think they're trying too hard. The one with the memes, though, is amazing. The fact that they acknowledged it. What will be the drop-off in viewers for the XFL from week 1 to 2? Probably the 50%. Probably 50%. If San Antonio is good attendance like they did with the Commanders, the NFL should really consider a future franchise there. I completely agree. The problem is that the Cowboys would probably never allow it. StreamEast is not doing XFL. All right, I cannot advocate for a specific service, but if there was a place in the United States where you could watch TV 24/7 at a .tv URL, that might help. Will I do USFL games in April? If this goes well, yeah. If this goes well, I love doing streams. If this goes well, we'll do it. StreamEast is doing the XFL. All right. Yeah, a lot has happened in the chat since the since that. We have an injured Roughneck. It is Duke. The former Texan. I liked him coming out of college too. It stinks to say. I think it was, what, a third-round pick? Duke was very good. How are these teams doing against a D1 college team? I don't know. All right, we have a kickoff infraction. Haven't seen that before. Ball only landed at the 24, so Houston's going to have a pretty good field position here. Oh, it's not going to be McDonald. It's not McDonald. Wait, it's Brandon Silvers out there. Oh, I don't know about this. I don't know. Brandon Silvers is the quarterback. All right. Unless they're going to alternate. I really thought I'd see McDonald out there. But it's going to be 1st and 10 on the Orlando 45. So great field position following the kickoff infraction. Yeah, these helmets really look like a team playing back in the 1960s. This looks like watching the Steelers or the Cowboys back in the 60s, and that is a throw into the dirt. Missed his target there. It looked like he was going for Travell Harris. It's going to be 2nd and 10. Yeah, I thought he played with Memphis. He was better than Hackenberg, at least. He was better than Hackenberg in the AAF. I don't know. I feel like McDonald offers you more, but yeah, it's the first drive. Again, clock runs on every incomplete pass. At this stage, Silvers drops back. Nice quick strike, gain of 5 yards on the play. John Trey Kirkland on the grab. It's going to be 3rd and 5 at the Orlando 40. Sam is one of the announcers who says all you need to know. He's not a manual. He's not a manual. I will give you that. Yeah, this is the 3rd go-around for the XFL. Silvers out route. That is incomplete. A nice pass break up there on the play by number 13, Mike Lee. It's going to be 4th and 5. Interesting, no runs on that drive. I know I talked a lot in the last game. The offensive line play was terrible. The running game was not there. Vegas was terrible running. Arlington was bad running. No attempts running the ball on those first 3 plays. 4th and 5. You're in no man's land. What do you do here? Too far for a field goal. 57 yards is too far at this stage. Do you go for it? Do you punt the ball away? I have no clue what they're doing. They are going to punt it away with 5 seconds. They're not going to take a delay game, though. They're not going to take a delay. They're just going to punt from the 40. Not the best of punts, but it'll do. Orlando's going to get back at the 15-yard line after the fair catch by Eli Rogers. So, Orlando ball at the 15. You want to have a bit of a better punt there. You definitely want to have a bit of a better punt there. You want to get him inside the 10 if you're punting from there. But either way, it's inside the 21st and 10 for Orlando after the commercial break. And now we can see what's happening in the chat because a lot has happened. You're a very underrated YouTuber. Thank you so much, The Will. Go Orlando. Let's see. How many senior nominees make the Hall each year? It used to be 1, now it's 3. Now they upped it to 3, which is good, because there is a bit of a logjam and there are guys that have been forgotten. Because remember, the thing with the Hall of Fame is that it's the same size class as it was back in the 60s. But back in the 60s, there were half the teams and the rosters were smaller. So the makeup of the league was about 65% less than what it is today, and yet we're letting in the same number of people. So there's a logjam. I'm glad that the senior committee has expanded to 3. The XFL breaking JG's brain since 8:44 on February 18th. It broke my brain about 4 hours ago when Rod Woodson just decided to make some dumb coaching calls. Am I the only one who dislikes the betting odds on the score bug? I get it. I mean, I don't like the score bug in general. I don't like the betting odds on the score bug. I get why it's there. Get people interested, get people betting on something. You want to get as big of an audience as possible. You might as well try and target the gamblers. But, yeah, I think it's very dicey. It's very dicey. Which Texans players are going to be relegated to the Roughnecks soon? Just watching Davis Mills play. All right. One day into XFL 2.5, we saw one of the greatest catches in football history. Yeah, if you want to call that, a catch. You want to call that one a catch. Yeah, Dean said the call on the field would have stood regardless of what it was because there wouldn't have been enough evidence to return it either way. Yeah, I'm confused why the original call was a touchdown and not a pick, because that looked way more like a pick. You need to be a football announcer. Thank you so much. I would probably, I'm going to do these streams for Monday Night Football. I'm going to do these streams. And again, if I was actually an announcer, there'd be way more research going on. I'd be doing a lot more stuff. And we'll have some more talk about the game and the players themselves as we get close, further into the season, once we know more about the teams and the players, once you get a feel for that. I kind of just decided yesterday, let's do all 4 games. So I didn't have enough time to prepare and whatnot, but it's more just about situational awareness and knowing what's happening. But anyway, I love doing this. Thank you so much. Do I like the kickoff rules? Yes. I like the fact that there's no touchbacks, really. It incentivizes returns. And the injuries aren't there. And you see some big returns. I like that. Kickoff refraction, the kick did not get to the 20. Should Andy Russell be in the Hall of Fame? I'd have no complaints. I think there are a lot of great players from that era that should be in that are not. L.C. Greenwood's another one. L.C. Greenwood has been overlooked. It is shocking that he is not in the Hall of Fame. Tommy Nobis is another one. Tommy Nobis should absolutely be in. Mr. Falcon himself. Do they allow players to go back and forth to the USFL? No, they do not allow that. But they do allow to go to the NFL. There's a completed pass, 20, 30, 35, 40, and down at the 44-yard line, a simple drag route there, and it picks up 29 yards. It's Cody Latimer again. This switch to tight end, or Houston has no answers. It's 4 catches already in the first 7 minutes. Wide open on the drag route. Will Boykin play in the XFL? No. He's also got a very, shoddy history that I don't think he's worth. That is a sack right there. Lynch unable to get out of trouble. That's for the 3rd time today he's been pressured and just looked very clumsy while doing it. Looked like it was, I can't tell if that was a 3 or a 5, but it is a 3. It's Trent Harris on the sack. It's going to be 2nd down at about 16. 2nd down at 15, rather. Who will be next year's Senior Hall of Fame inductees? Let's think about that. That is a run by Martin. It's at the 40. Stiff arm, 45, 50. I'm telling you, this Martin kid can play. Oh, my. He's got a nasty stiff arm, and once he gets going, it takes a bit. His burst is not quite there, but once he gets into the open field and gets to the second level, watch out, because he runs angry. Oh, man, I love watching this kid play. He doesn't even have a Wikipedia page. Jermaine Martin does not even have a Wikipedia page. He's going to have one after this game, I can tell you that much. 3rd and 3, midfield. Lynch drops back. Throwing a slant route, and he badly missed that. If he went with a swing route to Martin, he might have had it. But 4th and 3, you have to think they're probably going to punt it here at midfield. Maybe a lineup to go for it and try and draw him offside. They're keeping Lynch out there. They motion him to the sideline. Now they're bringing him back on. Are they going for it? Or this is to try and draw him off? We'll see what they do here. They're lined up 3 wide plus Latimer. I think they're just trying to draw him off. 2, 1. Play clock is at 0. And timeout Orlando. All right, so that's their first. All right, here's the thing with that. I have no problem with trying to line up, try and draw him off, and then take a timeout after I think it over. I have no problem with that. But you got to try and draw him off. You can't just get to the line and then do nothing. You got to go up there under center, Try to get him with a hard count, under shotgun. Lynch did nothing. Lynch did nothing there. He just stood there. He just stood there. If you're going to try and draw him off, you got to try and draw him off. Again, I have no problem with what they're doing here. I have no problem going for it here. I have no problem with calling the timeout and all that and thinking things over. But at least try and draw him off. All right, next year's Hall of Fame inductee senior class. I really want Nobis. Nobis, Greenwood, and let's go Gastineau. Klecko got in, let's go Gastineau this year. But I have no clue. Senior committee is a complete crapshoot. It could be anyone. All right, they're going for it. Lynch drops back, throws, and it is caught. Did he get the first down? Where will forward progress mark him? Looked like the ref is ruling him short. That ref at least is ruling him short. I think he might have gotten it with forward progress. This looked like a first down to me. Let's see. Oh, there was the bobble. Oh, he didn't catch it cleanly. That's why he might not have got possession until he bobbled it. That is not a first down. No, that is not a first down. I think that was Stephen Guidry on the catch. It was bobbled, and that is a turnover on this. Roger Craig, yes. Roger Craig should be in. Sterling Sharp should be in. That is a turnover on down. So ball will go back to Houston. A nice stop there. I guess I'm questionable about if this was always 4-down territory. It was 3rd and 3. You know it was 4-down territory. You have 2 plays to go 3 yards. Martin's been running like a beast today. He's been running like an animal. Every single time he gets in the open field, he's gone. He's had big runs all game. I think he's got more yards than the Vipers had all game on the ground. You're not going to call one run play? Why are you not calling one run play? Yeah, Martin's got 4 carries for 31 yards. They're averaging 8 yards a carry. You have 2 plays to go 3 yards. You're not going to call one run? No XFL team in New York. No XFL team in New York. There used to be the Guardians. They moved to Orlando. Could there be an XFL USFL version of baseball, basketball, or hockey? I mean, we have baseball with minor league. Basketball, we have the G League. Hockey, we have the AHL. So I guess it kind of exists already. Current product better, XFL or USFL? XFL. They actually play in front of fans and stadiums besides one. What do you think CBS will do in terms of graphic changes for Super Bowl 58? CBS is usually pretty muted with their changes. They usually keep things pretty consistent. There'll be some changes, but it won't be anything drastic. What happened to your Vegas QB? Oh, Perez. Oh, man. That was a frustrating game by Perez. Very frustrating game. He was very hot and cold. It was like watching 2 completely different quarterbacks out there. Holt or Ellard? Who's in the Hall of Fame first? I'd say Holt. I'd say Torrey Holt probably gets in first. I'm not really hearing a campaign for Ellard that much right now. You're the announcer and the graphics scorekeeper. I'm doing everything. Back in high school, my senior year, I helped out with the baseball team, and I did on one sound system. So there was one aux for everything, one input for everything. I did scorekeeping. I did announcing, PA announcing. So I did that. I did scorekeeping. I did walk-up music. And I did the electronic scoreboard, plus a manual scoreboard for the, like they write down. I did everything. It was so much fun. It was so chaotic, but it was so much fun. My brain was moving like 10 different places at the same time. To get the announcement of who's up to the plate and then get the walk-up song literally right after, because it was on an iPod. It was back on an iPod. And you had to move over the mic cord, the mic aux, to the iPod aux. And do that quick enough that the umpire wouldn't get mad at you for playing music while they're in the batter's box. You got to do it super quick. It was so much fun. It was so chaotic. If you could become a head coach in the XFL, what team would it be? Probably Vegas. A, I get to live in Vegas. B, Rod Woodson needs a lot of help with clock management. Jimmy Smith and Fred Taylor for the Hall. I completely agree. You will get no complaints from me as a Jaguars fan on that. First down, the first handoff of the game for the Roughnecks. It only gets 1 yard. Is Max Borgi. Or Borgi, I don't. Again, I am listening to this on mute, so I have no clue. If I'm saying any names wrong, please let me know. The last thing I want to do is get a name wrong. That is Max on the ground, up the middle, 2nd and 9. And I need to know more about this Jermaine Martin kid, because I thought Kelvin Taylor would be the starting running back. But Martin looks incredible. Drops back to pass. It is caught at the 46, 47-yard line, so 3rd and manageable. You're thinking maybe 4-down territory here? You're thinking maybe 4-down territory? The ball is at the 46-yard line of Orlando, so gain of 6. Call it 3rd and 3 for Brandon Silvers. We'll see if Silvers stays the starting quarterback for the whole game, or they go back and forth between him and McDonald for the first half or second half. Maybe Silvers plays one, McDonald plays the second game. We'll see what happens. Because they talked about McDonald a lot in the documentary today. So the fact that he's not starting is a bit odd. Silvers drops back. Oh, he had a hole! But okay, he completed the pass. He completed the pass. Down to the 26-yard line. It is Travell Harris. It looked like, so when I say he had a hole, it looked like Silvers easily could have stepped up in the pocket and gotten the first down that way. He had no one. No one. He could have easily run for a gain of 7 or 8. Picked up the first down, but a nice throw. Finds Travell Harris. Gets him down to the 27-yard line they're going to mark it at. So 1st and 10 for the Roughnecks. Silvers drops back to pass. It's a swing route. 20 and down at the 15-yard line. It is Max Borghi again. They're not running the ball at all. Only 1 run so far compared to, 7 passes, I want to say? But a nice, simple swing route there to the running back. Easy completion, and Max does the rest. Makes the guy miss. Gets him into the red zone for the first time today. Which has 60% non-TV timeouts, AAF or XFL. XFL games were pretty fast. XFL was pretty good in terms of timing. AAF, the games took very long, from what I remember. Maybe just because the quality was terrible. XFL took about 2.5 hours. That is not even close. Not even close. Tried to go one-on-one. Tried to hit his receiver number 9, Nikali, but just tight coverage all the way around by Mike Lee. No separation whatsoever. In Week 13, Marcus Jones was the Pats' leading receiver with 51 yards on 2 catches. Yeah, that is concerning. Will Carson Wentz join the XFL or USFL? No, he's good enough as a backup to stay in the NFL. Will Zach Wilson? That's a different story. It's Borghi again. Pick up of about 5 or 4. It's going to be 3rd down. See where they mark this, at the 11 or the 10. Either way, it's 3rd and medium. I'll just be generous and say the 10 for now. But we'll see where they mark it. Last time the Jets made the playoffs, there was no Winnipeg Jets. We have a $5 from Weath 3RCH4RT. Weather chart, I guess? I'll just call this play really quickly. That's a back shoulder throw. That's a beautiful play by Silvers, and that is a touchdown for the Roughnecks. Jontre Kirkland. And Houston gets on the board for the first time today. A 6-0. Beautiful back shoulder throw. Beautiful back shoulder throw is Jontre Kirkland. But thank you for the donation. Let me do this. And then let me get to your question. All right, here we go. So, how do you think the XFL season is going to go? Would I go to any games? What are your expectations for the league? All right, all good questions. How do I think it's going to go? I think they finished the season. They're going for 1. Oh, all right. We've only seen one team go for 1 today. Most teams go for 2. But we are going to see a 1-point attempt. We saw Arlington go for 1 earlier to make it an 8-point game. That's a run for the middle. That gets nothing. The run game has not been there for Houston the few times they've tried it. They go to max, and it doesn't do anything. But we do have a tie game at 6 apiece. With 2:22 left. All right. So how do I think the season's going to go? I think they finished the season. The quality of play is there. They have the TV backings, they have the contract. I think they'll be fine for this season. Would I go to any games? I don't live near any XFL teams, so I would not go to any games. If I was near a team, yeah, I go to games. But I live in Phoenix. There's no team near me. Closest team is Vegas. So I'm not going to any games. Expectations for the league? It's tough. It's tough because spring leagues typically don't do great. They usually don't survive past a season or two. Expectations, I think, with the backing of The Rock, the branding, ESPN's backing and whatnot, my expectations are you survive 2 seasons. And whatever happens after that happens. But I think they make it a second season. So that's my expectation. But all good questions. All good questions. Looking forward to the San Antonio game tomorrow and seeing how Hines Ward does as head coach. Yeah, I am very skeptical about that. It seems like the head coaches in the XFL are either former players with no experience or veterans with 40-plus years of experience. And there is no in between. Kickoff is bouncing at the 17. It is fielded at the 15 by Orlando, out to the 25 and down at the 26-yard line. On the return there for the Guardians was number 24, Roman Tatum. So we'll see the Guardians back out there. 1st and 10. And what was it, 24, 27-yard line? Something like that. Yeah, seriously, you know a bunch of you are a great YouTuber. Thank you so much for that. If JG9 was a play-by-play broadcaster, his dream analyst would be Reggie Rucker and Mean Joe Green. Oh, that would be a dream team right there. 26-yard line, 26-yard line. Should there be more punters in the Hall of Fame? I don't know who else you're putting in besides Leckler. I think there's enough, like, it's not a knock on punters, I just don't know how many truly transcendent punters there have been. Now, kickers, different story. Kickers are a different story. Like, I think Gary Anderson should be in. Vinatieri will get in. Tucker will get in when the time comes. Handoff, 45-yard line. It is, that is number 28, Kelvin Taylor. There he is. The son of Fred Taylor, wearing 28 in honor of his dad. Absolute Jaguars legend. Handoff up the middle, gain of 2 or 3. I think they're getting him 3 yards there. Put him at the 48-yard line. It is Kelvin Taylor again. This is Biker Scout here from Tennessee. Ask a quick question. What do you think about Derrick Henry this past season? Look, I mean, at the end of the day, he's still Derrick Henry. He's still Derrick Henry. Did he regress a bit? Yeah, but, I mean, he's still at his peak, a top 5 running back in football. I'm not one to ever doubt Derrick Henry. I've seen what he's done to this team way too many times. LC Greenwood not being in the Hall is a black eye for the whole process. Unreal he's not in. I completely agree. That's a catch. Someone's got to touch him. Someone's got to touch him. It is caught, though, by number 18, Andrew Jamil. Gets into Houston territory. And that should have been roughing the passer. That was a very late hit. Should have been roughing the passer. But a nice back shoulder throw down to the 28-yard line. Maybe the final play of the quarter. It's just a handoff up the middle. Handoff goes to Taylor. It is a gain of 4. And that should take us to the end of the first quarter. Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. I've spoken directly to Bud Selig about this. He is very strongly against Rose being in the Hall. I will put it that way. Wait, Iron Man's on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I did not realize that. We have a $10 from BW Falk. Thank you so much for that. That was like a say in the end of the quarter. I don't know why I'm typing in all caps. Thank you so much. Really means a lot. Should the XFL have a league-wide bye week while the NCAA March Madness is at the first and second round? I mean, personally, I would. I would. March Madness, you're not winning against that. You're just not winning against that. Now, a league-wide bye week for the first round, I could see. Round 2. Sweet 16, Elite 8, you compete against that. Because you can easily have a game Saturday morning and Saturday night, and then Sunday morning, Sunday night. You could do that. Or Sunday afternoon, rather. But no one's watching the XFL. I mean, I will, but I'll have stuff on the back. I'll March Madness on the background. The ratings always go down during March Madness, which makes complete sense. Will Broncos country be able to ride in 2023? I mean, you never specified where they're riding to. If you mean riding high, I'm not so sure about that. If you mean riding to your local Denny's, yeah, they can ride. Would Josh Brown be a kicker in the XFL or USFL? Maybe. He was a bit old, though. He's only going to say. Yeah, Mark Gastineau should be in. Also, Pat Swilling. I mean, the Dome Patrol, you can put most of the Dome Patrol in. I wouldn't complain. Do I watch the LFA from Mexico? One of the teams just signed the punt god. I do not watch the LFA. Let's see. Well, Pete Rose, I don't think he's getting in, period. He's shown no remorse. That's the thing. He has shown no remorse whatsoever. I don't think he's getting in. I don't think he's getting in. Jeff Saturday would have done a better job coaching than Rob Woodson. He could not have done worse. Do you think Clay Matthews Jr. gets in the Hall of Fame? I think at some point he will. I think Jim Marshall should also be in if we're talking great linebackers that never really got their due. They should both be in. Clay Matthews III, no, I don't think he gets in. But Jr., yeah. Should Sean Alexander be in the Hall? Yes, and here's why. We are looking at guys that had great peaks, but not long careers. We let Terrell Davis in for that reason. We let Tony Vasilian in for that reason. Find another running back that had as good of a 5-year peak as Sean Alexander did from 01 to 05. It's tough. It's tough to find one. The problem with Alexander is that LT broke his record the year after. That's the problem. If LT breaks the record any other year, Alexander's in. His legacy kind of, I don't want to say got tarnished, but it definitely got lessened by the fact that the record that Alexander broke, LT just took it from him the next year. So he never really had a chance to sit in the record book. How do you feel about FX getting back to sports broadcasting? Can I compete with Turner and USA? Look, more networks getting into sports broadcasting is always a good thing. It's always a good thing. It means they're not airing reruns of stuff, which is good. How do I feel about 3 teams being in Texas? If there's demand for it, I got no complaints. Texas is a huge state, and these are big markets. That is a terrible throw. He almost got bailed out again. Oh, my goodness. All right, every throw with a Paxton Lynch that's more than 10 yards down the field is just going to be an adventure, and we have to accept it. Pass break up there by Jordan Mosley. Could the Coroners having their calls being broadcast live lead to a Houston Astros as sign stealing scandal? There's a bit of a television delay, that's why. There's like a 7-second TV delay. So I don't think it would. 3rd and 6, you're running the ball, that means you, oh no, play action. And that only picks up 1 yard. It is a toss in the flat to Logan Carter. A $20 donation, holy cow. $20 from Doomsday Machine. Thank you so much for that. That really means a lot. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. It would help if I spell your name right. That is, oh my goodness, that is amazing. Thank you. You did not have to do that. Thank you so much. Let me fit your name on there. Thank you so much. Man. All right, 4th and 5, field goal, and then I'll get to your question. That is amazing. Kick is up, and that is no good. That is no good. 40-yard field goal by Jose Borregales is no good, and the score remains at 6-6. Houston's got the ball. Oh, man. Special teams has not been there today across the board. All right, let's see. Hopefully the XFL will be around for a while. Amen to that. As long as it's successful, provides good games, and expands. Those are the keys. Yep. Successful, good quality football, expands past 8 teams eventually. First, you got to get the 8 markets. That's the key. Get the 8 markets first. Don't just expand for the sake of expanding. Like if there are 2 markets that don't do well, move those markets. And once you get the 8 markets down pat, then you expand. But the more teams, the merrier. We'll always have a good NFL alternative for years. Thank you for your content. Always a joy to watch during a work week. That means the world to me. Thank you so much for that. It really means a lot. Wow. Deep throw down the field, and that is incomplete. Batted down there by number 24, Roman Tatum. I think that's the second breakup today. Tatum's had a solid game. Thank you so much for the $20. Really, that means a lot. Thank you. Well, if the 3-tiered PAT system was in the NFL, Do you want to see more games get decided by pass interference and holding penalties in the end zone? Because that's how you do it. Has any team made an extra point so far? Arlington made a 1-point conversion earlier, but I don't think anyone else is. I don't think any other extra points have been made. How the USFL last longer than the AAF? They kept the costs down at the expense of the product, but they kept the costs down. They played in one city. They had backing from actual major networks. That is a catch down to the 48-yard line. It is once again Travell Harris. He's had quite the game so far for the Roughnecks. I want to see the numbers. It seems like he's caught everything. Yeah, Harris, 2 receptions. He's only got 2 receptions? I thought he had more than that. But he's got 38 of the team's 70 passing yards. Does the backing of the Rocks sound like a movie title or something? Yeah, to an extent. Should Jeff Saturday be an XFL coach? I think he shouldn't be a coach, period. But it's better than being an NFL coach that he's not qualified for. Gets him down to the Orlando 46-yard line. Gain him 6 there. But there is a flag on the play. We'll see what this flag is. I believe this is the first flag of the night, not counting the kick infraction. First one in live play. Currently writing a U.S. history paper while watching you and the game. I need to know this history paper is on. Personal foul, block below the waist on the offense, so that play will not count. What is that, 15-yard penalty in the XFL? Or is that only a 10-yard penalty? Guess we'll see. Didn't know Orlando running back was Fred Taylor's son until now. Yeah, Kelvin Taylor is Fred Taylor's son. Matt Ryan is not a Hall of Famer. I completely agree. Matt Ryan is not a Hall of Famer. Why were there no TV timeouts in the AAF? They want to speed up the game. What should the Texans do in the draft? QB. Disappointing in Luis Perez's second half in the first game. He should have played better. I completely agree. The first half he played well. I don't know what happened. It's 1st and 20. Caught the 45 and down to the 49-yard line. Catch there by Cedric Bird. 49-yard line. How do you ignore 4,256 hits? You ignore it at the cost of the integrity of the game. For what it's worth, I think he should be in, I think Bond should be in, I think Clemens should be in. But I'm just saying straight up, Pete Rose will never get in. And Manfred is a Seelig disciple. They view very similarly on this. I know firsthand. I've had conversations with Bud Seelig. I took a class with him. And he spoke adamantly about Pete Rose. And very in-depth. He is never getting in. Seelig wanted Rose. Seelig really wanted Rose in the sense that he wanted to give him every opportunity to rehabilitate himself. He really wanted to make it work. And Rose just didn't take him up on it. Will the Alouettes fold after next season? I don't know the full details of what's happening in the CFL. I know they are in some financial trouble. That is a catch and a broken tackle, and that is a touchdown by Deontay Burnett. There is a flag on the play. We'll see what the flag is. It was thrown at the snap. Silvers is going down the field like this is on Orlando. We're going to see what this call is. A nice catch. Yardage after the catch. Broke the contact. And Deontay Burnett. All right, maybe I was dead wrong about the so-called McDonald thing. Brennan Silvers looks the part. And they are ruling it a touchdown. We'll see what they do here. Looks like probably most teams are going to go for 2. Why did Seelig not make the Giants give San Jose territorial rights back to the A's? He believes very strongly in territorial rights not infringing on other teams. Oh, they're only going for 1. They're going for 1 point. It's where most of these teams have opted the strategy of let's go for 2. Houston has opted the let's go for 1 strategy. But every other team usually goes for 2. They got stuffed the first time. They're going to do a QB sneak from the 2? What? That's the call? A QB sneak from the 2-yard line. With Brandon Silvers. That cannot possibly be the call. I refuse to believe they just called a QB sneak on the 2-yard line. I refuse to believe that. The Eagles don't even do that on 4th and 2. You're telling me that struggling to run the ball all game, and with offensive line play not being good across the board, you're calling a QB sneak on the 2-yard line. If it was on the 1, I get it. But on the 2-yard line with Silvers? Oh, come on. Come on. LT never got to the Super Bowl. Alexander did. Not sure how much that factors. I don't think it factors that much. I mean, Super Bowls really matter for QBs, but they don't really matter for other players in terms of their Hall of Fame status. Should Zor be the head coach of Vegas instead of Rod Woodson? He can't be worse. The men's Final Four will be in Glendale in 2024. The national championship will be on the same day as a total solar eclipse. Ooh. If I go to that game, it'll be a fun drive back. I completely disagree with Terrell Davis being in the Hall. Yes, he had a great 5-year run there, but longevity should count for something, and he didn't have it. I mean, look, it's a completely fair argument. It's a completely fair argument. So I guess, what are your thoughts on Sterling Sharp, Gale Sayers, Tony Baselli? Even Calvin Johnson to an extent, although he had some longevity. USFL or XFL, which is more likely to succeed? USFL keeps the costs down, so I would say USFL, but quality-wise, the XFL is better. Place kickers in the USFL absolutely suck. Yeah, I mean, look, special teams playing in the NFL is not great as it is. So now you throw in minor league football, it's not going to be good. Could Salt Lake City support an XFL team? No, they had the AAF. It didn't work with the Stallions. Number 2, you got to get people out in the cold weather, which is not a recipe for success. And you can't play games on Sundays because you just don't get attendance on Sundays at Salt Lake. We have another donation from Doomsday. Thank you so much. Is that a dumb decision? Someone from what I hear. Oh, you missed it earlier today. You missed it earlier. Rod Woodson with his clock management is the worst dumb decision so far of the season. But the QB sneak is up there. The QB sneak is up there. What were the dumb decisions live? Should the last place NFL team be demoted to the XFL while the champion XFL team gets promoted? How would that even work? Just salary-wise, it would be terrible. It would be terrible. It'd make for a horrible product, too. The best NFL team would destroy the XFL. The worst NFL team would destroy the best XFL team. It would destroy. What if the Giants and MLB moved to Tampa? I think the A's moved to San Francisco at this point. The A's would have moved to San Fran. I think after the Raiders moved back to Oakland, I think the A's would have moved to San Fran. Can this Houston team replace the Texans? They bring more joy. Arena League is coming back. Yeah, I'm hyped for it. I'm hyped for the Arena League. I was a diehard Arena football fan back when the Dragons were in town. I used to go to every Dragons game. Follow the Sharks until they left the AFL. Now they play in the NAL, which is kind of a joke. Hopefully the Sharks come back for the AFL. Do you expect PJ Walker to get some playing time next season? Maybe some preseason games, but playing time, I think that's coming on. He just didn't look that good. Fielded at the 15, after the 20, bit of a stumble, and down to the 22-yard line. Nothing there on the return by Eli Rogers. Some good coverage there by the Roughnecks. And we're going to start the 22-yard line. And did I... Try to see where the text went. I must have deleted the text by accident. So, name is already used. Okay, so I did not delete it. All right, first down at the Orlando 21-yard line. That's a bad snap. Lynch just falls on it, and that's a loss of 11 yards there. There's been a lot of miscommunication with the snap. A lot of low snaps, a lot of high snaps. That was a high snap. A lot of low snaps that Lynch had to recover from. Center play has not been there. I think center there, number 58, Jalen Spady. Had a bit of a rough game so far snapping the ball. Steelers 2024 NFL champions. I don't believe in Pickett. Now, he did play better than I thought he did. Obviously, I put out that video. He's played better since then, but I don't believe in him to make that jump. But then again, the fact that Tomlin got this team to 9-8 is an incredible testament to how good he is. They're just going to hand it off to Taylor. We haven't seen Martin a lot lately. It's been a lot of hands off to Taylor. Only gains 3 yards there. 3rd and 18. Is The Rock going to attend every single XFL game? I think distance-wise, it would probably not be possible. He was able to make this one work, I think, because of Dallas and Houston, but it's not possible. Does it cost more to run the XFL or the CFL? CFL. You're traveling across the country. You're playing more games. Way more for the... it's a longer season. It's way more for the CFL. And that is a catch. Gain of about 14 there by Eli Rogers. It's still well short. They're going to be punting about the 26-yard line. So a quick 3 and out. Silvers is 2 touchdowns today. Roughnecks have played a pretty good game offensively. They'll get another chance to get the ball back. And they get the ball to start the second half. Keep that in mind. So Houston has a shot to really, I won't say blow this one open, but they have a chance to make this very interesting. There is literally no one on the gunner right there. Oh my goodness. False start. Oh my goodness. False start. That's going to be 4th and 9. Was I not the only one that saw that? There was no one lined up on the gunner. Literally, Orlando's gunner, I think it was, I couldn't make out a number. I think it was Dedrick Thomas. I think it was number 10. There was no one on the gunner. You could have called a fake punt easily there. Snap it to the punter, just have him throw a quick little pass. There's still no one on him. There's still really no one on him. There's no one on. Oh no, there's. I didn't see the safety back there. That's a bad punt. 45, 50, 45, and down at the 42-yard line. All right. The camera was too zoomed in. I did not see the safety 15 yards back. I did not see that. Okay. So only about 21 yards of net. All right. I was going to say, there was no one on the gunner, but I did not see the camera angle was too zoomed in. It did not show the safety. All right, let me just take a quick sip, because I've not taken a drink of anything. All right, gotta refresh my throat. All right. Where do the Roughnecks play? Same stadium as the Texans or the Dynamo? Neither. They play where University of Houston plays. Let's see. As far as the new baseball channel, if it's like your other channels with strange stories, I expect my Pittsburgh Pirates to have a lot of videos. The first 2 videos, so there's going to be an announcement video coming on Monday. Announcement video comes on Monday. The first history video probably drops Wednesday, and then another history video will drop sometime around Friday. One of them will be Marlins related, one of them will be Diamondbacks related. The D-backs one and the Marlins one, I don't know if any Marlins fans have heard of this. I looked it up on Google, nothing popped up. So I don't know how popular this play still is, but it is a very controversial play from 3 decades ago. If you're a Marlins fan, you might know what I'm talking about, but Steelers got a Super Bowl, as is pure Yinzer way. Calvin Johnson was obviously a slam dunk Hall of Fame, but he got in so quickly. It's an apology for having to deal with the Lions for that long. Yeah, I'm not surprised Johnson's in. Don't get me wrong. I was shocked he got in first ballot because receivers typically don't get in first ballot. I didn't think that Johnson had was going to get in first ballot because a lot of guys had to wait a bit. But he got in first ballot, especially because that was also the year that you had Charles Woodson getting in and Peyton Manning. So it's like, are they going to let 3 people get in first ballot, the same class? But they did. Who would get the AL expansion team in 1998 then? If the Giants moved to Tampa, A's I think moved to San Fran eventually. Who gets the AL team? At that point, I could see Buffalo making a push. Because they made a strong push back in the late 80s with the Bisons. I could see Buffalo making a push to get the team. Where was I when the Steve Bartman incident happened? Probably sleeping, because I was 6 years old. And it took place at, 10 o'clock at night? And I was in first grade. The first baseball series I remember was Yankees-Red Sox 04. I didn't understand the significance of what happened necessarily, but I did realize that the Yankees were 3-0 lead. I was just shocked by it. First game I went to was Cardinals-Mets 06. Cardinals had like a 7-1 lead and they lost 8-7. I'm a Cardinals fan. Also a D-backs fan. I have season tickets to the D-backs because it's dirt cheap. It's like $10 a ticket where I sit. But Cardinals fan, D-backs fan. But first game was Cardinals-Mets 06. Silvers drops back and he is going to get taken down. But he does get back to the line of scrimmage and he gets a bit more than that. He does give him more than that. So good effort by Silvers to look like a loss of 5, and instead he keeps it alive and gets a gain of 1 out of it. I've not met any ASU football players, like personally. I've not met that. Has there ever been a more unstoppable play than the Hurts QB sneak on 3rd or 4th and 1? No. It's a cheat code. It's a cheat code. Maybe the Brady QB sneak. Super Bowl first 2 wins at Browns or Lions? Lions. That's tough. Drag route is caught. It looks like it was caught by Burnett, who caught the touchdown. Takes it down. Or no, it's going to be caught by Travell Harris. I thought it was between 1 and 6 on these units. Not crazy about the outlines of the numbers on these units. It is tough to tell single-digit numbers, especially with the gradient. I'm not quite sure I like it. But it's going to be 3rd down, the 35-yard line. 3rd and 3. You figure maybe 4 down territory. If you're going for on 4th, you're running the ball here. If you're going for on 4th down, you're running the ball here on 3rd. So we'll see what they do here. Silvers, they are throwing. And it is caught for a 1st down. Just a little check route there. 27-yard line. Silvers also could have run there. That's twice now that Silvers had a hole and just decided to throw the ball instead. Granted, the guy was open, but just something to keep in mind. Going forward. A gain of 8, that's good enough for a Roughnecks 1st down. Is the 1972 Olympic men's basketball goal game the biggest display of corruption in the history of all sports? Yeah. They replayed that ending 3 times. That was very clearly rigged. He's got it wide open, bobbles it. Oh, he bobbled it. Oh, that was going to be his 3rd touchdown. It was the fullback, Garrett Owens. Oh, man, I don't know why your fullback's running that kind of a route, but that's a perfect throw. Would have been 3 touchdown catches. Or 3 touchdown passes, rather. Had him, too. Man. That's really the first drop we've seen all season. That's really the first drop, like bad drop of the XFL season. Receivers have been pretty solid so far. That's a delayed handoff. It's going to go to Max. Picks up the 1st down. They're going to get it right back. All right, they're going to get it right back. So Garrett couldn't do, but Max does, and that is a 27-yard touchdown run for the Roughnecks. They are firing on all cylinders right now. Max Borghi with a 27-yard touchdown run. Garrett Owens drops the pass. No problem. They just get it right back on the next play. My guess is that they're going for 1 based on previous history. What a nice touchdown run. T-Law, Young, and Stroud on the Celtics here. I really hope that doesn't happen. I really don't want Young and Stroud there. Yeah, they are going for 1 again. You have to think, if they don't get this 1-point conversion, just go for 2 at this point. This time they were going to throw, and I don't know what that throw was. I don't know what. That was a miscommunication. I think he was trying to hit Harris and Burnett at the same time and just missed on all cylinders. Just missed everyone. Was that even him that threw it? Because it just showed him drinking water on the side. Was that even the, was Silvers even the guy that threw that ball? Yeah, I mean, at this point, just go for 2 every time. Why not? The ones aren't getting everything. You might as well. You gotta get some points back. 18-6, though. It's a 12-point game. I wish the Guardians stayed in the New York area. I was there for every home game. Yeah, I get why they didn't, though. I get why they didn't. The fan support wasn't great. Carnivorous Stadium. If they played at Red Bull Arena, I think it could have worked. Or Citi Field, I think, could have worked. But it was just not a great not great location. Look, I've been to MetLife many times. It is a pain to get there. My biggest disagreement with Tree has always been his take on Tomlin. I think Tomlin is a great head coach. He's gotten so much talent, so much out of this team, even when there's no talent on it. It's really amazing. It's really, really amazing. Kickoff field at the 20, at the 15, down to the 20 and the 24-yard line, which is where Orlando starts after 18 unanswered points by the Roughnecks. I remember Houston gets the ball to start the half. Houston gets the ball to start the second half, so they gotta be they gotta get something going here because right now Houston is unstoppable. The tight end should start Malik Willis at QB next season. Dude is a very good quarterback. Oh, if they start Willis, I would be through the roof. Messi to Miami, I don't think it's going to happen. No, I think it's going to stay in Europe. Are there any Marlins fans? Yeah, I just know that their stadium's in a really weird spot, and there was some things that happened with the financing of it, and that run goes absolutely nowhere. I think it's a loss of 4 on the play. Let's say 2nd and 14. Will Geno Smith regress back to his old self next season? Oh, they're only giving him a loss of 2? Really? Okay. Back to his old self. I think he'll regress back to his old self. I don't think he'll regress that much, but I think he will regress just a bit. So I don't think that level of play that he has is sustainable. All right, nice easy gain of 3. Makes it 3rd and 9. They still got some work to do. Still got some work to do. Any Chicago Cubs video? Oh, there'll be Cubs videos. I just don't know what exactly I'm doing just yet. No, I don't know what exactly will happen just yet. I did not watch the Friday Night Lights TV series. I have not watched that. It is on my list. Have I watched Ted Lasso? I love Ted Lasso. Was it March 14th the next season starts? I cannot wait. I cannot wait for that. Or March 17th? It's sometime in March. Oh, that's pressure from the blind side. Lucky to hold on to that ball. Paxton Lynch could not feel the pressure whatsoever. And the easy sack there on the play by... It says 89, but I do not see an 89 on the depth chart. I do not see an 89 on my roster. Either way, it is a sack. It is 4th down. And Houston's going to get the ball back again. This one might get very ugly very quickly. You know, we might see Cole McDonald in the second half with the way this game's going. Because it might be such a blowout. Punt return to the 38-yard line. So Houston's got the ball near midfield with 4:11 left. Will Goldschmidt wear a Cardinals or D-backs cap in the Hall? I mean, he's going into the Hall. I think he goes Cardinals. I'm guessing nobody here is watching anything else. I'm watching it. I have it on one of my monitors. They're doing some halftime entertainment right now thing. Problem is that the slam dunk contest has just lost all its luster. Am I going to buy a house in Orlando? Not anytime soon. I love living here. I don't want to live anywhere else. But right now I like the apartment style. Just houses are way too much. Silvers to the sideline. It's a 1st down and more. It is caught by Kirkland, who caught a touchdown earlier in the game. It's another Roughnecks 1st down. 18 unanswered points for the Roughnecks. Really, they allowed 1 touchdown pass, which was let's call it for what it is, a very controversial touchdown catch. And other than that, they've been playing lights out with 4 minutes left. At the Orlando 47-yard line. Hi from Who Dat Nation. I guess I know where you're from. Silvers drops back. Pressure, but he gets rid of it going deep. And did he get the foot in? Did Kirkland get the foot in? I think he did. It was a bit outstretched, but no problem for him as Kirkland makes the grab, and they are ruling it a catch as things stand. This will be reviewed, but he got the knee. 1 knee equals 2 feet. Not that that matters in the XFL. The 15-yard line, and it's a run to Borghi, and it picks about 3 yards, so 2nd and 7. What a play. That would have been a catch in the NFL, too. 1 knee is 2 feet. Kirkland looking good. John Trey Kirkland, 4 catches, 62 yards, some nice grabs. That one his best. Silver's dropping back, throws, and that is broken up. Nice play to break up. Good throw, but better coverage there on the play by Terrence Smith, the linebacker, so it's going to be 3rd and 7. Where do I watch XFL games at? I'm a Texans fan. I was well for the Roughnecks. I mean, I'm watching this in my apartment right now. This game is on ESPN and FX. 3rd and 6. Silvers drops back. It is a screen pass that does absolutely nothing. Take it down to the 2-minute warning and kick the field goal. They lose quite a few yards there, so it's going to be 4th and 10 as they line up for about a 32-yard field goal. It's going to be Hunter Duplessis. Hunter Duplessis on the attempt. 2-minute warning. And again, the clock now stops. The clock is now like NFL rules, except that also stops on first downs. Hunter Duplessis for the field goal. Kicker from Texas San Antonio. Hit 80% of his kicks in 2021. It's for a 32-yard kick. Money from inside 40. Money from inside 40. Doesn't really have that much of a range. Only one field goal in his college career of longer than 50, but he's money inside of 40 yards. 40 yard inside 40 in 2021. He was 14 for 16. 2020 he was 12 for 12. 2019 7 for 8. So should be a relative chip shot for the for that. GG9, your score bug needs to take up more scrim than the XFL. No problem. There we go. That's a score bug now. All right. San Antonio instead of New York makes sense to me. Yeah, there's definitely football presence in San Antonio. They also supported the AAF very well. It works perfectly. Yeah, Almado does need some love. Yeah. Any XFL innovations you see being carried over to the NFL? Unfortunately, 4th and 15, I could see at some point. I don't want it, but I could see it. I could also see the replay. I could see replay. What if Malik Willis goes his whole NFL career without throwing a touchdown pass? I would laugh so hard. People were like, "You're overreacting." He played like he threw 13 passes. Why are you overreacting? No, he's that bad, guys. He's that bad. Worst movie I ever watched. One of my friends from college. I'm just suggesting. One of my friends from college jailbroke a Fire Stick. So we watched Holmes and Watson just because. Made it 20 minutes. Didn't laugh once. Holmes and Watson is as bad as people say. It's not even so bad it's good. Holmes and Watson, Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly are so funny in just about everything they do. But Holmes and Watson is the worst movie I've seen. I did not make it past 20 minutes. It was that bad. At least I'm not the late 90s with no ticker on your channel. Yeah, the fact that I have a score bug and NBC didn't have a score bug. Hey, it's not that hard. Orlando's playing pretty poorly, like they're only there to get that bag. I mean, Orlando had the lowest odds of any team in the XFL. I mean, Vegas kind of knew what they were talking about with saying Orlando's not going to be that good. Yeah, it's still early, but I'm drunk. Howdy, Spritz. Carter Green Bay. That would be funny. Not going to happen. That would be funny. He's not going to the Broncos. Let's say you get no cap room. Matt Ryan to the Texans. I don't see it. I think they're just going to go Mills, and they're going to go with whoever they draft. 33-yard field goal for the former UTSA kicker Hunter. Getting money in his entire career from inside 40. Did I just jinx it? I did not. That is right down the middle. That is perfect. 21-6, Houston. 21 unanswered points on their last 4 drives. With the ball in the second half, Orlando really needs to get something going here. It is only a 2-possession game, and in the XFL, that's nothing, but they really got to get something going here. Where will Baker Mayfield play in 2023? I think a team that has a young quarterback. They'll probably draft a QB. I'm thinking a team like in the NFC South. Maybe Atlanta. Maybe Atlanta. Favorite Talladega Nights scene? Oh, there's too many to choose from. Sweet Baby Jesus is probably my favorite. Do you see yourself working for a sports TV network research department someday? Because you should. Thank you so much. I did a lot of that, like the research stuff in college. I love doing it. If the pay is good. I mean, problem is that like the pay would have to be good to give it what I'm doing right now, because I love what I'm doing right now. But helping out on some broadcasts every now and then, I would love to do that. I would love to help out on some broadcasts every now and then. Not as like a full-time thing, but to help out every now and then, like to fill that itch, I would love that. I did not watch The Airbender, Last Airbender. That was where Holmes and Watson was worse than 80 for Brady. Oh, absolutely. 80 for Brady had its moments. It was not a good movie. It had its moments. I've seen worse football movies. I've seen worse movies. Way worse movies. I've seen worse sports movies than 80 for Brady. It was not good, but I give it 2 out of 5 stars. It was not good. I wouldn't willingly watch it again, but it's not the worst thing I've seen. I expected it to be worse. Holmes and Watson is as bad as people say. It is. It makes 80 for Brady look like Jaws in terms of how competently made it is. Lynch dropping back. Oh, you got to get out of that. Why are you standing in the pocket? You saw the pressure too. You saw the pressure. You just took it. You're a statue back there. Oh my goodness. Trent Harris with the sack. If I'm Houston, I call timeout. If I'm Houston, unless you're just willing to go into the half 21-6. If I'm Houston, though, I'm calling timeout. Orlando's not moving down the field. Orlando is not moving down the field. Let's call for what it is. Yeah, they're calling a draw play here. And that's Martin on the handoff. Now you call timeout if you're Houston. Oh my goodness, they're not calling timeout. Why are they not calling timeout? This makes no sense. Why are you not calling timeout? Why are you not calling a timeout? You have 3 of them. Do you want the ball back or not? I know you get the ball to start the second half. I know you're up 15. You get a free possession because they're not converting this. They're not converting this. Yeah, they called a draw play here. They're clearly giving up. Well, you just wasted a minute, and that could be a flag for piling on, but now they call timeout when it's 4th down. Wow, that's bad clock management right there. He just wasted a full minute. As soon as Lynch took the sack, call the timeout so you get it back with about 1:30 left. Now you only have 37 seconds left. Oh, man. I get that you get the ball later. I get that you get the ball to start the second half. But with the way you're moving right now, why not try and get more points? Why not try and get more points? Haven't met any NFL players. Many NFL players. I met Nate Burleson at the NFL Experience. He was super fun to talk to. Super nice guy. As nice as people say he is. He is amazing. He's Wade Phillips. He doesn't do strategery. Kept his timeouts in a lockbox. All right, 4th and 16. They're going to punt the ball away. Again, I don't know why. Yeah, this whole season just dumb decision after dumb decision so far. There was no harm to not calling a timeout. Oh, don't touch it. Don't touch the punt. All right, get me at the 49-yard line. But see, you could have had that with the 1:30. Yeah, you would have no timeouts. Remember, the clock stops on 1st down. The clock stops inside 2 minutes. It stops on 1st down as incomplete passes and all that. So, are the timeouts really that meaningful compared to the extra plays you can get? I don't think so. I don't think they are. All right, I'm watching the slam dunk. Murphy, that was not a great dunk. Just a standard 360 spin dunk. Silvers, all right, hold on to the ball. Lose a yard there. And you have to figure Houston's calling their second timeout. Not a great dunk by Murphy. We'll see if they roll it. It's also 4-0 in the Canes game. I'm watching 3 things at once. XFL on the big screen. They give it very high scores, though. I'm not crazy about the scores there. At least take one after the second. Yeah, if you only take one after the first, that's one thing. But after the second, when they're clearly just conceding and they're not calling any plays, take one then. Like now, you got time for, what, 2 plays before you got a kick? Not crazy about that at all. All right, 2nd and 13. Ball is at the 47-yard line. I figure you need about 20 yards to even attempt a field goal here. And his long in college was 51. Silvers going past the sticks. That is incomplete over the middle. Batted down and almost picked off there by Terrence Smith. Orlando's had a rough game defensively. Terrence Smith is actually doing pretty well. Terrence Smith is actually doing pretty well. All right, Sims just did a dunk for the Knicks. It was the Vince Carter dunk from 2000 with 2 hands. Wasn't really. There's a reason I'm watching the XFL mainly. That dunk just didn't do it. And now they're calling a draw play to Max, and that will take us into the half of the. You wonder, do you call it on then just try one Hail Mary to the end zone? Do you just go with this 21-6 lead? I think they're just going to go with the lead, which is fine. Poorly managed at the end, but at the end of the day, 21-6. Halftime here in Houston. All right, so I'm flipping over to TNT for the dunk contest for the next 10 minutes. Obviously, I've got the XFL still on, but at this point, my attention is devoted to the dunk contest. Jack's Heroes, I think, are pretty good. They do some pretty good routines. They're pretty good. Some good news regarding Foolish Baseball. He did inform me that all of his videos are backed up in case he does. Yeah, I seriously hope he gets it back. It stinks. Absolutely stinks what happened to him. I have 2-factor on. I have a lock on as well, but you never know. I've been hacked before on Reddit. It's the scariest thing when you lose control. It's the scariest thing. You feel like you've been violated. You feel like you lost a big part of you, especially when that's your livelihood. I hope they restore everything, because I know people that have not been able to restore everything. So be very careful of whatever you open email-wise. Be very, very careful. It's why I'm extremely meticulous with that. But sometimes stuff gets through the cracks. Sometimes they disguise these scams too well nowadays. What do you think we should call a fumble return touchdown? Scoop and score. Scoop and score. Easily. Does Orlando have a chance at all with Paxton Lynch? No. Paxton Lynch back there? Absolutely not. Between this and the increase in stupidity and coaching decisions in the NFL this past season, it feels like the coaches had their brains sucked out all of the Monstars. I could see that. The whole XFL season is going to be its own dumb decisions video. Yeah. Best broadcast team not. Ooh, that would be a nice second mark and hit that. Best broadcast team not named Summerall and Madden. Enberg and Olsen was great. Have I watched Recess? Yeah, I don't have a favorite character, but I do like that show. I watched it all the time growing up. The movie was great, too. Best sports movie-wise at basketball. Best one for me is Moneyball, but basketball's pretty funny. Will Carson Wentz go to the Cardinals? I don't think so. That's a nice dunk. It took him it took Martin a few tries to do it, but that's a nice dunk. That's the best dunk I've seen so far. A tie between Baby Geniuses 2 and Garfield for the worst movie. I saw Garfield. I remember thinking it wasn't that good, and that was me as like 8 years old. Whenever that came out, 05, 06? I've not seen Baby Geniuses 2. I've not heard good things about it. I actually want to chat. Hang on. The friend that allowed you to watch Holmes and Watson. It's not like a friend. I mean, we all watched it together. We were all like, "This is terrible." Like, it was free. He jailbroke a Fire Stick, so we didn't really lose anything out of it. Let's see what they get Martin for this dunk. That's a lower score than I thought. I thought it was the best dunk. Oh, let me refresh all the graphics. Get these all back to normal. They got like some Tom Grossi inspiration from the score bug on this one. Worst sports movie. Okay, wait, if we're talking best sports movie, technically The Room has scenes where they play football. So that's the winner for me. My favorite XFL team, I don't have one. There's no local team in my area. I just want to watch some good football with all you guys. All right, Mac McClung. Oh, okay. They got two people on top of each other. This is like Vincent Adultman style. Okay, if he lands this, if he's going to take the ball and dunk it over two guys, oh, man. 50. That's a 50. That's a 50. That is a 50. That is a 50. That is a 50. First try, dunking over two guys, taking the ball from them, and doing a reverse clutch. That's a 50, folks. That's a 50. Oh, and off the backboard. I didn't even see that. Over two guys. Take it, clutch, off the backboard, and then reverse jam. That is legitimately one of the best dunks I've ever seen at the contest. That is the best dunk I've seen at the contest since the Levine Gordon days. That's a 50, folks. If that is not a 50, and D-Wade is not a scorer this year. If that's not a 50, I don't know what is. Yeah, I have a unique password for my YouTube channel. I have a unique password for my YouTube. That's a 50. That's a 50. All across the board. That was beautiful. That was... He did everything there. Over two guys, first try, clutch, off the backboard, reverse jam. That was a 50. Yep, that's a dang 50. Sure, Orlando just bench Paxton Lynch. He can't be worse. I know. Francois is the backup. I know he's not that good. He can't be worse than Lynch. Lynch is terrible. Lynch is so bad. That was the best dunk I have seen in a while. Oh my goodness, that was fun. That was fun. Was it Tony Crush 22 years ago? Wow. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, thoughts and prayers obviously go to Michigan State. Just tragic situation. No one should have to fear for their lives at school like that. But, oh my goodness. All right, we're at commercial break for the All-Star game. Commercial break for XFL, or halftime of the XFL. It's 1:47 left in the second period of a 4-0 Stadium Series game. The greatest offensive lineman ever. Ooh, that's tough. That is tough. I would probably say Munoz. But that is tough. But if I had to take one, I'd probably say Munoz. There's so many good ones, though. There's so many good ones. But I mean, Anthony Munoz was just on another level. You have the NHL Sim Series. Yeah, I have 3 screens going right now. So basically, I just bought a bunch of TVs for $20 on Facebook, and I just have a setup like that. So that's how I watch every game for the NFL. If you wonder how during like the NFL streams I know about every single game that people ask, I watch every game. And that's because I have a TV setup where people just sell their TVs for dirt cheap. They're looking to downsize. They had a kid's room, and now their kid is grown up and they don't need the kids' room anymore, or something along those lines, or they're moving, and they just give these TVs away, and I just take advantage of it. So I have a big TV where I watch the Jaguars and I watch like the XFL right now. That was like a housewarming gift. For everything else, it's like $20. You can see on my Twitter how many TVs I have. I did like a tour of like what I do for Super Bowl. It's a solid 11 TVs, and they're all, besides the main one, they're literally all $15 to $20. Like, it's not an expensive setup at all. It's just knowing where to look kind of setup. John Hanna is a great choice. John Hanna is a great choice for best offensive lineman ever. Again, there's so many ways you can go with this. There are so many ways you can go with this. If the Titans brought back the Oilers uniforms with the Oil Derricks, would a funny nickname for Derrick Henry be Oil Derrick Henry? It would be funny. Chris Berman would probably do that on NFL Primetime. He'd probably do that. It's a great name. Mike Webster, again, another great choice. You could pick about 15 or 20 different guys for this, and I'd have no complaints. Best offensive lineman is so tough, so subjective, and there were so many good ones that you can go a bunch of different ways. You can go Walter Jones for all I care. There's a lot of different guys you can go. So I think Ronnie Lott could have played in today's game. Yeah, I think so. Turn it down a bit, but I think he could have played. Thoughts on Karl Malone? Great player, horrible person. I think that's pretty much all that needs to be said on Malone. Horrible, horrible person. You get Gene Upshaw, Art Shell. Kramer maybe not, but Upshaw and Shell, yeah, you could definitely do that. You could definitely do that. Just checking my feed right now because it is kind of blowing up after the with everything that's happening right now. Forrest Gregg is good. Hear about Jimmy Carter? Yeah, he's going to hospice. I would say tragic. But my thoughts on everything with my thoughts on life in general is you live past 90, you've lived a heck of a life. You've lived a heck of a life if you live past 90. And to do all that he's accomplished and to be remembered as a great person, a great human being, like if this is it for Jimmy Carter, he lived a heck of a life. 95, I mean that's a celebration at that point. That's a celebration at that point. That's always my thought. You live to past 90, it's a celebration. Best Phoenix area player I've met so far. I've not met any players from Phoenix. The movie was free and I still got ripped off. 20 minutes of my life I'll never get back. Valley Sports declaring for bankruptcy. We talked about that earlier in the broadcast with the not the Orlando game, the Arlington game. About time. Valley, I hate the regional networks. Again, I'm one of the few that likes the score bug, but it's there's a lot of work to do. Oh, he's 90. I thought he was 95. 98. Yeah, seriously, heck of a life. Heck of a life. Okay, Murray can nail this dunk. This would be a nice dunk. Bruce Matthews, also phenomenal. He's a great pick. I'm not crazy about that dunk. It's okay. I think his original dunks were better, the ones he hadn't missed. All right, we're kicking off. We're back to the second half. Bobble kickoff, but it is fielded by Houston at the 10, to the 20, to the 25, 30. Got a bit of a hole and down to the 35-yard line on the return there. I really need to get new depth charts because these are not the right. It says number 20, but I literally do not have a 20 on my roster. So I need to get some new depth charts. So I will do that for next week. Oh, Paxton Lynch is still warming up. Yeah, live money line Houston minus 3,000. Smash that, literally. With Paxton Lynch in it, it's not happening. It's not happening. Gain of 8 on the play there, down to the 42-yard line. 2nd and 2 after the the throw by Silvers. The Orlando Guardians logo looks like the Panthers logo mated with Ren and Stimpy. I will not be able to unsee that now. Yeah, that's the thing. Carter literally, was still up and about. I saw the whole Habitat for Humanity thing. Really, he, It's a celebration of a great life, if this is it. It's 2nd and 3. Silver's back to throw, and he finds his man. I believe that's Borgie again. I believe that was Borgie. I think he got enough for the first down, which he did. He needed 3. He got 3. Now I'll take it to the 45-yard line. All right, we've also got Trey Murphy doing a dunk right now for the Pelicans. I need to see McClung's next dunk because that first dunk was phenomenal. The Houston helmets, they just look very 60s-like. Very, very old school, but not in a good way. They're marking at the 44-yard line. 1st and 10. All right, that was a nice dunk by Murphy. A lot of guys getting on the first try, which I really like. That was an overthrow. Overthrow over the middle. Was looking to hit his receiver there, Travell Harris, but just a bit too high. Falls and completed 2nd down. But not a bad dunk by Murphy. See the replay of this. Clutch over the head, then down, reverse. Solid dunk. Solid dunk. I'd probably give it a 9. Most important sack of all time in the NFL. Let me think about that. 2nd and 10. I mean, the most famous is the Theismann Lawrence Taylor sack. So that's a game of 7 right there on the pass to Ben Putnam. Most important sack of all time. Maybe the 052 sack. Pretty much ended the game. Silver's dropping back. 3rd and 3. He's got his man. For the first down, it is Burnett. Loses a bit of yardage after the catch, but he does pick up 5, and it is a 1st down. But I'm trying to think most important sack ever. I mean, obviously the most recognizable one is the Theismann sack. But the most important sack ever. NBC Phil Simms was fine. It was really just the last few years that Simms went off the rails, and I just didn't know what he was talking about. But NBC Simms was fine. The most important sack ever. He's a dead duck. Loss of 5. Okay, you have to think most important sack ever had to be in a big game to win it. A big game to win it. Maybe the strip sack in the wild card round between the Cardinals and the Packers in overtime. Maybe that one. Handoff up the middle. Big hit there. Only again about 2. Handoff to Borgie. Yeah, maybe it was the sack to or Simms did the exact same dunk as before, except with one hand this time. There's no creativity. There's no originality. He's got one trick. No, you got to come to the contest prepared with more dunks. I'm sorry. Yeah, Reggie White in the Super Bowl, that's a good one. It's got to be a playoff game. At least. And that is an interception. It is picked off by Matt Elam, the former Gator, the former Raven, and Orlando with a much-needed break. Been struggling all game, but maybe that is what gets them going as they will take over near midfield. With a 37-yard line? 37-yard line. And that takes us to a commercial break. So let's go back to the dunk contest. Right in time for McClung. I hate that dunk by Simpson. It was just the exact same dunk he did in round 1, but worse. Still gets a good score. Can't wait to see the first XFL game that takes place at a non-2020 stadium. So that's going to be tomorrow. San Antonio should get a good crowd. They should get a very good crowd for that game. Not the most important, but one of the funniest was Andy Dalton getting walk-off safety. I remember that one. All right, here we go. The crowd is on their feet for McClung. He's got no help on this one. Oh my goodness. McClung is bringing back the dunk contest single-handedly. Max McClung is bringing back the dunk contest. That's another 50. That is the best 1-2 I've seen since Levine and Gordon. That's a 50, folks. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is fun to watch. A 180 double clutch. Oh, man. That's a 50. Yeah, San Antonio will get good crowds. St. Louis will get good crowds. I'm not worried about those two teams. Will there ever be footage of Mike Goldberg calling Cardinals games? I wish there was. I couldn't find any. I could not find any. NFL Game Pass doesn't have the footage. They have the footage of the other team. Was the Andy Dalton sack the best Halloween NFL moment ever? No. Tim Couch, Hail Mary, 99 against the Saints. It's probably number one. That took place on Halloween. Oh, someone gave that a 49? Lisa Leslie gave that a 49? No. Boo. Boo. That's unanimous 50 across the board. Yeah, usually three-point contest is better than dunk contest. This year, McClung is doing well. This year, McClung is bringing it back. Guys are hitting their dunks on the first try. This is actually fun to watch. Yeah, the Joe Theismann sack is the most important by... Ooh. It led to the importance of the left tackle. I mean, the left tackle was always important. The blind side was still getting made with or without that movie. They would just use a different scene. Yeah, Lisa Leslie voted 49 for the dunk. Is the safety number 2? I'd say the safety is probably number 2. I'm trying to think of anything off the top of my head. But what is a big game the NFL be willing to put on at 1 p.m.? Like Bills Dolphins, I guess. They'll usually put their games at 4:25. Why did Jim ever get angry at Jim Rome? Called him Chris Everett. How tall is McClung? I don't know. Lynch gets rid of its sidearm. That's about a gain of 6. Gets to do about the 43-yard line. 2nd and 4. The Jim ever Phantom seconds, 49ers, yeah. That's when you knew. That postseason was just terrible. The ending, at least. The ending was terrible. Conference championships were bad. Super Bowl was bad. That was probably the worst 1-2-3 slate from conference championships to that. Urban Meyer's dumb decisions against the Seahawks. Yes, I mean, he was terrible. Lynch with another sack, of course. Oh, this is just painful to watch. This is just painful. Seriously, Francois can't be any worse. Lynch threw 1 touchdown and shredded a peck. He's been terrible. Get him out of there. Get someone in that can move. OMG, you're on the grind today. Yeah, grind don't stop. The grind don't stop. Most forgettable NFL season. Had to think a season where nothing crazy happened. A team... All right, that was actually a good throw. Got dropped. Dropped by Stephen Guidry. Maybe 77? 76, 77? Oh, Fulchka's chow back. That's awesome. That's awesome. What postseason? 1989. So, NFC Championship with the Phantom Sack, Niners, Rams, Browns, Broncos, and then Super Bowl 24. I would like to forget 2022, but it just, that will not be forgettable for obvious reasons. Roughnecks get the ball at the 30-yard line. Helmet exists in the XFL. Yes, it does. It does. 1982 was not the most forgettable. How can 82 be the most forgettable? It had a strike. It was a 9-game season. It had a strike. Same thing with 87, you had replacement players. How can that be the most forgettable season? Maybe 92? 92, maybe? Maybe 92? Playoffs weren't, I mean, although you did have the comeback. Am I worried about the quality of the future NFL? No, not worried about that. 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Give me half up the middle to Max. And able to get 3 yards out of it. 2006, forgettable. Yeah, but you had the Hester kickoff return touchdown. You had the AFC Championship, Manning winning his first. You had the Chiefs with the crazy comeback to make the playoffs. It's got to be a season where nothing major happened in the postseason and no major records were set. It's got to be a season like that. And that's a sack taken by Silvers down the 25-yard line, loss of 8. The year the Rams lost 13th in the Super Bowl, 2018. But that gave us the pass interference with the Saints-Rams. That gave us 2 overtime conference championships. It's got to be a year where the playoffs were bad, there was no good Super Bowl, and nothing major record-wise happened. '73? 1993, name one thing about it. 18-week season. First and only time, 18-week season with 16 games, 2 bye weeks. 3rd and 15, and that's going to be thrown away. 79 is supposed to go. No, you have the AFC Championship with Renfro, with the controversial catch. The Bucks making it to the AFC Championship. Very good Super Bowl. Houston did not go for a 3-point conversion. No, they did not go for 3. They got a field goal. 1929. I mean, if we're just talking post-merger era, I'm assuming. We're just talking post-merger. But 1973... Although I can't even say that because OJ ran for 2,000 yards that year. They just stopped giving the ball to Jermaine. He's got 31 yards, but he had 4 carries for 31, and then they just stopped giving it to him. So it's got to be a season. This is an interesting thought experiment. It's got to be a season where nothing happened in the playoffs and no major records were set. And we're just talking post-merger. Like 74, it goes to the post. Or sea of hands, I mean sea of hands. 75 had a good Super Bowl. Maybe 1967. Honestly, maybe 67. I mean, the only playoff, but no, you had the Ice Bowl. And that's Super Bowl era, not post-merger era. This is interesting. 1980, every team was 11-5. That was a good year. 81 was a great postseason. 82 was the strike. You can't say that. '83? Maybe 83? 2000, yeah, you had the Ravens though. You had the 2000 Ravens. If it wasn't for that, I give you had the 2000 Ravens. Most memorable season. Most memorable. 72 gave us the Immaculate Reception and the undefeated Dolphins, which still live on today. 81 gave us the Epic in Miami, the Freezer Bowl, and the Catch, all within a week of each other. You're my Mike Goldberg for this one. I don't know whether it's a compliment or not. 2002, you had the Bucks defense. They won their first title. First year of the Texans. 94, you have the 75th anniversary patch. It was the 75th anniversary. The throwback uniforms, they did a good job there. 85 had the Bears. Yeah, 02 had the wild card with the Niners. That's another great dunk by McClung. With the Niners and the Steelers. 98, Elway's last stand, Manning's rookie season. NFC Championship. Had a lot of good things. 89 is the closest I could... Yeah, 89 is probably... What about 1971? Tell me something that happened in 71. And Cowboys won the Super Bowl. I don't think there were any memorable playoff games. 71 might not be a bad answer to this question. Yeah, the playoffs were... Oh, no, you had the Christmas game. You had the double overtime Christmas game. You had double overtime Christmas. 94, 75th anniversary. 93 was 2 bye weeks. Universally hated system. 06, you had the... 19 had a good Super Bowl. 19 was a good Super Bowl. 1980, also the coin toss. Yeah, 2006, you had the AFC Championship. I think the best answer... 95, expansion season for the Jaguars and the Panthers. Also, you had the Raiders and Rams moving. And the Browns. And you had the Browns relocating in the middle of the season. That was 72 with the perfect season. That was perfect season was 72. 70 was... No, Chuck Hughes was... Was Chuck Hughes 71 or was it 70? 81 was the most memorable. 81, you had the catch, the Freezer Bowl, the Epic in Miami, all back-to-back. Was the Chargers Super Bowl the worst? No, it was bad, but it wasn't the worst. I think 24 was the worst. 05's not a bad answer. Although Sean Alexander broke the record for most touchdowns. Granted, LT then broke it after, but 71, if you can get past the Christmas game double overtime, that might be the winner. That might be the winner. And I've done a lot of videos on 71, but that might be the winner. Like, besides the Cowboys winning it all, and besides the Christmas double overtime game, not a lot happened that you can remember from 71. All right, 3rd and 4, play action pass. It's caught for a gain of 2. Caught right there by Logan Carter. Short of the first, but they're near midfield. Do they go for it? They're in Houston territory, so we'll see if they do. We got one of those Bills victories. All right, 90 it can't be because of Scott Norwood. 91? Let's see how I score for Murphy's dunk. Yeah, they're just trying to make it so that McClung has to do something. Yeah, 05 was the last season of ABC's Monday Night Football. So for that reason, 93 on CBS. I can't say that. Yeah, they are going for it. That's the right call. 4th and 2 on the Houston 49. Lynch drops back, fires, and that is incomplete. No flag for PI. No flag on the play for PI. So it's going to be Houston ball at their own 49-yard line. Look close. Looked like the hand might have been around the receiver. He didn't have the Flipper Anderson game? Yeah. 91 had the Lions winning a playoff game. Yeah, McClung's got it. McClung's got it. It's over. It's over. This is tough. 71 might be the winner. Because really, I'm not counting Super Bowl champions as like memorable things that happen. If the game was good, that's one thing. But I'm not counting Super Bowl champions. That's a horrible throw by Silvers. Orlando gets it right back. What the heck is that throw? 50, 40, out of bounds at the 40-yard line. It is an interception by Marcus Murphy Jr. And the ball goes right back to the Guardians. I don't know what that throw was. I guess he tried to float it over, but there was no float on it. It was just a laser. He was covered too. Actually, if he floats it over, I can see what he was trying to do, but there was no air on that. You got to float that ball. You got to float that one. And every dunk that McClung had was first try. You got to love that. Most forgettable XFL season. Probably 2020, just by default. If you subtract the champions, 2000 is the worst season. I can give you that. Although Monday Night Football. 41-yard line, throwing, and that is picked off. Oh my goodness. Just bench Paxton Lynch at this point for my own sanity. 50, 45, 40, 35, 30. I think there was a flag on the play. This might come back for blocking the back. It is going to be a pick for Houston. There is a penalty on the play for a block in the back, I believe, on the return. Because the flag came on the return, but it is Houston ball. Oh, Jesus. This game. Because 2000 also, remember, Monday Night Football, you had the Antonio Freeman catch. You had the Monday Night Miracle with Jets-Dolphins. Yeah, chop block on the intercepting team, so it's no touchdown, but it is going to be a pick. Yeah, this is a tough question. I think 71 is the winner. I think 71 is the winner. 75 might be up there, but 71 I feel is the winner. I'm starting to doubt that Paxton is going to be the new Peyton. What makes you say that? Let's see where they mark this before I put in the spot. It's going to be a 45-yard line. Oh my goodness, this game. Now we're just getting a turnover fest. Is John Elway the most overrated GM in history? In recent history? Yeah, I mean, look, he hasn't done anything in the last 7 years. Ever since he got paid, and that's it. That's all he's done. Gain of 2 on the play. Hey, a play that's not a turnover. Thank goodness. Can my 9-year-old sister play quarterback for Orlando? She could crush it. Then she tries to play like Trevor Lawrence. Can't be worse than Paxton. Can't be worse than Paxton. Look, the Broncos never had long droughts like this before Elway got here. They won games for 30-plus years, and then Elway got there, and his ability to evaluate quarterbacks has just been terrible. I dumped out the XFL for the same series shame that it's not a competitive game either. Yeah, 4-0 there, Carolina. We've got 18 minutes left. Super Bowl is the only reason 2016 isn't in the conversation. Yeah, 2016, not a lot memorable happened that year. I guess you could say the Cowboys-Packers playoff game, but I mean, that postseason was terrible. Such a bad postseason. 2016, if it wasn't for the Super Bowl, I would say that. But yeah, 1971, I'm seeing a lot of 71s in the chat. Offside on the Guardians, so that's a first down. So the ball gets moved up to the 44-yard line. Handoff there. Breaks a tackle. Breaks another one. And goes out of bounds at around the 40 or the 39-yard line. It is that time, it is Dejon Lee. And again, my depth chart is all off. He's number 20. On my depth charts is 34. So I have to get some new depth charts. Which I will for next week. But it's 2nd and 6 after the 4-yard run. They're going to give him 5 on that one. All right, so mark it at the 39-yard line. 71 was year the Boston Pats became the Pats. Yeah, but all right, 71. What happened in 71? I feel like this is We Didn't Start the Fire, like writing We Didn't Start the Fire, but NFL version. Kansas City, Miami, Christmas game. I know that. Cowboys win their first title. Gain of 2 on the run. Other than that, is there anything memorable that the average NFL fan would know or care about that happened in 71? Jermaine still only has 31. He just stopped getting the ball. Handoff, and they run to the side. It is Max, and he is unable to get out of that one. There's 2:12 left in the quarter. That's a loss of 1. 4th and 4. We'll see what they do here. This feels like 4-down territory with the way Paxton Lynch is playing, with the way that you're... Are you going to punt it from the 38? I'm not sure. Oh, no, they were going to punt. They're going to try to pin Orlando deep. All right. The punt is... Oh, that's a terrible punt. That is a garbage punt. That's a 16-yard punt. Oh, my goodness. The special teams. I've harped on it this entire day, but the special teams play has been terrible today. Other than the Pats-Broncos playoff game in 2015 was forgettable. Manning's last ride, the Wait a sec. Other than the Pats-Broncos playoff game, 2015 was forgettable? Wait. Of all the playoff games, that's the one? Not Cardinals-Packers? Not that one? Wait a sec. Yeah, the Aaron Rodgers Hail Marys, yes. Oh, Lynch is out? Oh, thank goodness. Thank the Lord. And this new one's not much better. It is Quentin Dormandy. All right, so it is not Francois. It is Dormandy. Yeah, 2015 was the 50th anniversary of the Super Bowl. You have the logos for that. The first year the draft moved around. Cardinals, Packers, yeah. Yeah, other than Patriots, Broncos, no. Cardinals, Packers is the one. With the Hail Marys and everything. You see, Broncos in 15 was good, but it wasn't, like, I can't say it's a memorable season because of that. Screen pass there, gain of 5, about 3rd and 11. What do you think about actor Howie Long? No strong opinions either way. No strong opinions. 77, yeah, 77, that was one that I said, 77. Granted, you had, let's see, the Rob Lytle controversial fumble. You had a double overtime game with the Colts. That looked like a hole that they missed. Not that it's going to matter because it's another 3 and out as the pass to Ryan Becker gets a gain of 4. Oh, this game is painful. Oh, man, this game is not a good introduction to the league. As we go to the fourth quarter, Orlando's going to be punting the ball. Yeah, 15 also had the Vontaze Burfict game, yeah. Glad to see the Roughnecks are up to their 2020 antics as usual since I can't watch the game. It's not really that. It's more Paxton Lynch is just laughably bad at QB and has no business being a starter. It's more of that. If I'm Orlando after the game, I'm asking, how much do you want for Cole McDonald? Because I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you because, oh man, Orlando is the worst team in the league according to the Vegas odds, and it is not hard to see why after this. Cleveland Guardians are better than the Orlando Guardians at football. You might be right. You might be right there. Oh, I knew that name sounded familiar. Don't want me to play in Tennessee. I forgot about that. Because I remember Dobbs and then Guarantano, but I forgot about Zorman. I forgot about him. He played at Central Michigan, too. All right. I knew that name sounded familiar. Most underrated player in NFL history, Fred Taylor. The fact that he only made 1 Pro Bowl, and that was as an alternate when Jerome Bettis got hurt, is crazy. He has those exact same numbers in a bigger market like New York. He's making 6 or 7. Remember when the XFL wanted to get Trevor Lawrence? I'm so glad they didn't. Do I think XFL 1.0 was rigged at any point? No, I just think the product was terrible. I don't think it was ever rigged, but the product was just so bad. Jerry Rice, yes, most underrated player ever, Jerry Rice. I think also, in underrated sense, when we talk about the greatest receivers of all time, a lot of us do not mention the name Don Hudson enough. His numbers compared to everyone else, and it's not so much people on here. It's more like younger folks. It's more, they don't realize just how good he was and how dominant he was. It was like he was playing a different sport. If there was fantasy football back in the 40s, if you had Hudson, that was it. That was game over. I mean, people talk the greatest receivers of all time. You say Rice, you say Moss, you say Owens, you say Largent, you say all these guys. It's like you never hear the name Don Hudson. Now, among people who know the game and among people who are older, you hear the name, but not among people that are younger. And you don't realize how great he was. Yeah, Largent, yeah. Torrey Holt also, yeah, the fact that he's on the Hall of Fame, he's underrated at this point. Underrated player in the league right now. Most underrated player. I don't think Tyson Campbell gets the love that he deserves. I think Tyson Campbell might be one of the best cornerbacks in football, and I don't feel like he gets the love that he deserves. He's a beast for Jacksonville. When do you guys think XFL 3.0 will fold? I think it's going to last this season. I really do. I think it will last this season. I'd be shocked, downright shocked if it doesn't. Best 1-2 wide receiver punch? Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. 70s Chargers. Jefferson and Joyner was phenomenal. Carter Moss, obviously. Wayne Harrison. Holt Bruce. Houston ball at the 44-yard line. There's a lot of good ones. Stanley Morgan for the Hall of Fame. Yeah, I mean, there's a logjam, but I'd be fine getting Morgan in. Yeah, Carter Moss. Yeah. Ken Riley, yeah, he's in the Hall of Fame now. Top 5 all-time in interceptions. He's in the Hall of Fame, which is good. I'm happy for him. Duper and Clayton, yeah, the Marks brothers. Granted, the fact that Riley wasn't alive to see it is awful, but I'm glad he's in. Bolitnikoff Branch, also very good combo. Very good one, too. Rice and Taylor, very good as well. There's a lot of good options here. Gain a 2 on the pass, 2nd and 8. There are rumors the Pats may move off Mac Jones. They'll move off of either Jones or Zappi. I feel like one of them has value. Rice and Brown, yeah, I mean, but they were in their late 30s, early 40s. If it was just their prime, it's a different story. Stalwart Swan was great. Bolden Fitzgerald, obviously, a great combo with the Cardinals. Futurama never made an NFL reference? I wouldn't say Alvin Harper is one of the best 1-2 combos. He's a good player, don't get me wrong, but I don't think I would put him as like one of the best 1-2 combos of all time. 43-yard line there of Orlando. It's a first down for the Roughnecks. Bryce Owens, yes, that's a great one. Let's like other great combos at wide receiver. Like really, really great ones. What newspapers do I read? So when I'm in New York, I read the Daily News and Newsday. Those are the two that my family subscribed to. In terms of newspapers nowadays, I don't really read the newspaper. I just read the news online. But for finding stories, any newspaper that has the keywords I'm looking for. First down and more, out of bounds at the 31-yard line is Burnett on the grab. Yeah, Roger Craig should be in the Hall of Fame. He should absolutely be in the Hall of Fame. Let's see, other great wide receiver duos. I mean, there are tons of them, but like to be in the best of all time class, like in terms of Bruce and like obviously Smith McCardle was great, but I'm not putting them in the top class of Bruce and Holt or something like Rice and Taylor or something like that. Call the 25 by Burnett yet again. Down at the 23-yard line is a gain of 8. I'm disappointed that Dallas isn't called the Roughnecks to rival Houston. The San Antonio Roughnecks. Best wide receiver duo right now is Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Can't really argue against that. Be tough to argue against that. And a newspaper that isn't blocked by a paywall. That's a good way of looking at it. They're going to say 2nd and 1. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. It's not a lot, but it is enough for the first down. Pushes the pile forward and down at the 19-yard line. See if they mark it at the 18 or the 19. Either way, it is a first down. The Roughnecks are inside the red zone. They can put this game to rest right here. I mean, obviously with the way Orlando's offense is playing, they're probably putting it to rest either way, but they can really put this one to rest. It's a 2-possession game right now. They can make it a 3-possession game. Bills from the 90s, yeah. Silvers drops back. He's got time. Just checks it off. I believe that's to Max again. Oh, no, that's to Dejan Lee, who again I have is the wrong number on my depth chart, which is what throws me off. But it is 2nd down, and I want to say 4. We'll see what happens when they get back. It's crazy that the Jags almost beat the Chiefs. We really should have beat the Chiefs, too. We really should have. Dropped an interception. Agnew with a fumble. We really did not play poorly we really were not out of it in that sense. It was more we shot ourselves in the foot, not they played better than us. Obviously, I'm not taking anything away from the Chiefs. It was we just shot ourselves in the foot that game. Like, we can play with anyone. What was nice about this season is we can play with anyone. We showed that. There was not a single team that I don't think we can play with. And that's a testament to this coaching staff, a testament to how good Trevor Lawrence is. Is Wes Welker a Hall of Famer? That's tough. I mean, he revolutionized the slot position. I would say is the best slot receiver of all time, maybe. I would say so, but that is close. Slant route, and that is broken up. A big-time breakup there by Trumaine Washington. If it wasn't for that, that is a touchdown all the way. Houston going to try field goal, make it an 18-point game, which is still only 2 possessions. Still only 2 possessions. So keep that in mind. Granted, it's a lot. You need a touchdown of 3, a touchdown and another 3. But get this field goal, make it 18 points with 10.5 minutes left. Orlando still is only down by 2 possessions. I'm trying to keep this interesting, folks. I'm trying to keep this interesting. We all know it's not going to happen. Kick is perfect. Right down Broadway. Yeah, I don't have a problem either way if Welker gets hit or not. But if we're talking about impact on the game, he revolutionized the slot receiver position. So 24-6. Again, 2 possession game. You need a touchdown and a 3. But it is possible. Again, we are doing this. Oh yeah, not before a lot of guys like Holt, Wayne, Steve Smith, Andre Johnson, Henry Ellard, Sterling Sharp. There's a lot of guys. Points count double in the 4th quarter. I wish. Terry Tate, offensive linebacker, one of the greatest heads of all time. Did it originate on Super Bowl? I believe it was Super Bowl 37. I believe it originated for that. Ken Anderson should be in the Hall of Fame. Absolutely. He should absolutely be in the Hall of Fame. He was one of the best quarterbacks of the 70s. Maybe the best quarterback of the 70s on the whole. He will get in eventually. I just worry that it won't be when he's alive. That's my fear. I think Lamar Parrish gets it eventually, but I don't think it's going to be while he's alive. Same thing with Ken Anderson. And it would be a crying shame because Anderson absolutely deserves it. Matt Ryan should not be in. No, he should not be in. I'm more of a big Hall guy. I don't want to dilute the Hall, but look, the class is the same that it was back in the 60s, and the league has grown by so much since then. We got to adjust the Hall to account for it. There's so many guys that have fallen through the cracks that should be in. And again, we are doing this for both games tomorrow. After this, I'm going to Otis Taylor. I don't think so. How come Ken Anderson doesn't have a picture on Wikipedia? Be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change you want to see in the world. Jared Allen, he's going in. He's going in. Sometime in the next 5 years, he's going in. I think next year he gets in. He will absolutely be in the Hall of Fame. So we will do this tomorrow for both games. So at 3 o'clock Eastern, so I'll be on at 2:45. We'll do the San Antonio-St. Louis game, and we'll wrap up the night on Sunday at 8 o'clock. So the stream starts at 7:45 with the final game of the week, Seattle against D.C. Devin Hester not being in the Hall of Fame is a slap in the face of special teams. Like, he's going to get in. He'll get in eventually. Don't worry, he's getting in. He'll get in. Don't worry, he's going to get in. He was a finalist this year. He's getting in. It was never going to be first ballot. He's going to get in. Sometime in the next 5 years, he will be in the Hall of Fame. So I read The Athletic from time to time, yeah. There's some good stuff on there. Matt Slater, is he going in the Hall of Fame? Not before Tasker. He should not go in before Tasker. They should both be in, but Tasker should go in first. As a Pirates fan suffering from Barrett-Russell syndrome, what will Jaguar Gator 7 offer a night was like? A lot of weird baseball stories. I will put it that way. A lot of stuff you've never heard of. A lot of broadcasting stuff you never heard of. A lot of crazy stuff that has happened. Should Sean Kemp be in the Hall? No. The kickoff is fielded by Orlando at the 8-yard line. 10, 15, 20. Nothing doing. Not a lot of big returns so far during this game. 24-yard line is where Orlando's going to start this. Barry's Devin Hester take might be his worst football take. He's got a lot of bad football takes. He's got a lot of bad takes. See his new take on Mahomes? See his new take that Mahomes is not that good? Am I a Yankees fan? No, I have a soft spot for them being from New York. But I am a Cardinals fan. I love Albert Pujols growing up. He was my favorite player. And I am a D-backs fan. Baseball Hall's been letting everyone in lately. When Harold Baines got in, I watched many hands of it. You say it's been letting everyone in, but Todd Helton is still not in. And I don't know why. I can't punish him for playing a course. Oh, and he dropped it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, there are some games that you just want to end, and this is one of them. Sean Davis drops the pick on a horrible throw. Maybe there is a quarterback worse than Paxton Lynch. Maybe. What the heck is this? Epstein should be in the Hall of Fame, yes. Win a World Series with two different franchises that were cursed? Yeah, he should be in. He should be in. Who have winning Daytona tomorrow? I think it's going to be Larson. Could Tyreek make the Hall? He could. He's got some work to do. Finally, they gave it back to Martin. He got no carries in the second and third quarter. Should Malone be removed from the Hall of Fame? No. Again, I'm not defending at all what Malone did, but removing a guy from the Hall, you don't do. OJ didn't get removed. A lot of players have not gotten removed from the Hall of Fame. I don't think you can remove a guy from the Hall of Fame. So it's a bad precedent. Granted, let's be very clear, what Malone did is horrible, but it sets a precedent if you can remove guys from the Hall of Fame. Why shouldn't Sean Kemp? I mean, basketball lets everyone in, so it's not the worst. I'm not going to throw a fit over it if he gets in. Am I going to do a video on the George Brett Pine Tar incident? No, that's way too well known. I would love if Pep coached the men's national team. It's not going to happen. But if Pep coached it, I mean, I'd be through the moon. Martin with the handoff, gets the first down and a bit more, finds the hole down the 48-yard line. I don't know why they stopped giving him the ball. Also, his takes during the games that he then deletes after are really bad. Yeah, the Pine Tar incident's way too well known. I will never do a video on that. First down to the 41-yard line. Yeah, the baseball channel is going to be like the football and the college football channel in that it's incidents that you've never heard of. I'm not going to talk about the Black Sox or the 94 strike or Game 7 of the 2001 World Series. It's gonna be stuff you've never heard of. Like the first two stories, I guarantee you've never heard of. Down at the 30, breaks a tackle. All right, there's some life. Eli Rogers with the grab down to the 26, but there is a flag on the play. Who is this flag on? We will see. The offensive linemen are retreating back to the original spot. All indications are that this is on Orlando. Let's see what this call is. It's 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. We'll see what the call is. Again, I have no audio on, so NBA channel, will I make it? Maybe. Copyright is a nightmare with the NBA, and footage is hard to come by. Maybe something down the road. All right, I don't know what the call was. They never showed the referee's mouth or anything like that. So 1st and 20. Probably holding. The trek through the locker room ceiling tiles, maybe. We'll see. Wide open, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. We have a ball game, folks. Andrew Jamil with the catch. Quinton Dormady, welcome to the starting spot. Thank goodness. No more Paxton Lynch. Oh, there's going to be so many broadcasting stories. You're not going to know what hit yet. It's going to be crazy. All right. 51-yard touchdown pass by Quinton Dormady. And now, 3-point conversion time. Make it a one-possession game. 6:39 on the clock. This has gotten a bit interesting. Disco Demolition Night? No, probably not, because there's so much on that already. ESPN did a documentary on that. There's nothing I can talk about that hasn't been said already with Disco Demolition. Here we go. Yeah, any of the forfeit promotion nights? Probably not. It's going for the end zone. Oh. I don't know if that was a missed throw or just mistracked by Eli Rogers. Either way, 24-12, but it's still a two-possession game. You have to think 4th and 15. You got to do that now in the fourth quarter. Thanks for recommending Streamies. I've been watching that game. You're welcome. It's a great channel. I've used that for a lot of NFL stuff. JG5 for the Olympics. Honestly, Olympic channel would probably be JG6. I really want to do some Olympic sports stuff. NFL Bus Hall of Fame? No, probably not. No. So you have 4th and 15. So let's talk this through. 6:37 left. 4th and 15. If you kick it off deep, 2 minutes are coming off the clock. Guaranteed. I'm not sure you have enough time to drive down the field and then get another stop and then drive down the field again. Because it's a two-possession game. 4th and 15. If you don't get it and you get the stop, if you get it, that's great. If you don't get it, you get a stop. They're going for a field goal, 27-12. 27-12. And it's a 15-point game. You can go for 2, you can go for 1. You can go for 2 twice. Usually teams go for 2 twice, so you can do that. So I say you go for a 4th and 15 here. I'm sure you can end up in the Hall of Fame in the future just for a shout. That would mean a lot. Thank you so much. As like a contributor to the game or as like a media person, that is never going to happen. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. JGJS, a channel exclusively devoted to dumb decisions by Jeff Saturday. Vinatieri Gostkowski, Hall of Fame. Vinatieri, yes. Gostkowski, no. Gostkowski, no. Vinatieri, absolutely. Copyright on soccer is even worse than NBA. That is true. That is true. Olympics, I'm not sure how bad it would be. I wouldn't be surprised if there was some unknown Disco Demolition-like event that gets covered on JG7 eventually. We'll see. We'll see. If there is, you know I'm covering it. You know I'm covering it. You know I'm covering it if it happens. A Dumb Decisions channel by Nathaniel Hackett. Interesting channel concept would be a channel about sports, video games, and or movies. That could be interesting, yeah. Copyright with movies is tough, though. Is Pat McAfee the best punter of all time? Oh, not even close. The disrespect to Ray Guy. The disrespect. Does soccer differ based on the league? Yeah, I think MLS is probably less than it is for Premier League. Premier League is brutal. Was Lane Kiffin a bottom 10 all-time NFL head coach? No. He was bad. Bottom 10, that's tough to crack. That's tough to crack. Paxton Lynch Hall of Fame. First ballot. First ballot. NBA I might try and do, but I want to see what happens with the baseball channel first, because I'm already stretched really thin. Shane Leckler, Hall of Famer. If you're going to put another punter in, yeah. If you're going to put 2 punters in, Leckler's the second best behind Ray Guy, so I would absolutely put it in. They're kicking the ball off. Oh, my goodness. I don't know about this. I don't think there's enough time. I just don't think there's enough time. Bobby Hoying in the Hall of Fame. All right, we're just seeing a random bust to be in the Hall of Fame at this point. 20, 25, he's got a hole, 30. And down at the 34, 35-yard line, it is Lee again on the return. 1st and 10 on the 35-yard line. We're almost there with this game. We're almost there. We are almost at the finish line, folks. Yeah, we're doing this for both games tomorrow. So keep that in mind. Here we go. Silver's dropping back. Scrambles outside. And the camera work was very shoddy there, but it looks like an incomplete pass. You got to follow the ball there. An awful minor league promotions video. If there's footage, I will. If there's footage of it, I will. If there are some bad ones out there. The Jumbo Shrimp have some bizarre ones. All right, 2nd and 10. Silvers back to drop, back to throw. It's called for a gain of 9. He's short of the first. He is short of the first by about a yard or two. It is Burnett again. Burnett's been a beast so far today for the Roughnecks. How many catches? 8 catches, 88 yards. That one for a gain of 8. Going to take it down to the 43-yard line. 3rd and 2. Do you go handoff up the middle here? Roughnecks averaging 4.6 yards per carry. They do go up the middle, but Orlando is ready for it. Orlando is ready for it. Battle of their line against the other line, and Orlando holds. Isn't the NFL bad with copyright? They're bad, but not to the extent of soccer. I'll put it this way. I've never gotten a copyright strike from the NFL. I've gotten content ID claims, and I fought every single one of them off. In fact, knock on wood, in 3 days, I will not have a single video on my channel, history video. I'm not fighting the highlight videos that I did back in the day. I will not have a single history video. Oh my goodness. He just took his eye off the ball. Oh my goodness. What is this game? But I won't have a single video that has a copyright claim on it, which means I get 100% of the revenue, which is awesome. Oh, he just took his eye off the ball. Oh my goodness. The special teams play is going to kill me in this league, isn't it? I mean, that was terrible. I mean, come on. Muff there by Eli Rogers. Had a good start to the game, but ever since the first drive has just gone quiet. 13-yard line. First muff punt of the new season. Throw to the end zone is incomplete. Nice coverage on the play there by Najim Hussein. Looked like the intended target was Cedric Burr. It's 2nd down. Why don't I use NFL primetime music or NFL Films music in my videos? That's the easiest way to get copyrighted. That's the easiest way to get copyright. And I can't even argue fair use for that. I cannot even argue fair use for that. That is very clearly not fair use. So, I can argue fair use with the footage. Music? No, not a chance. Easiest way to get claimed. And that is intercepted but out of bounds. Shaq Wiggins could not make the grab. So 3rd and 10. Yeah, I want to do a soccer channel if the copyright allows it. It's just copyright is a pain with soccer channels. I'm not sure if an American soccer channel would have the audience, like an MLS channel or NASL channel. I don't know if it would have the audience, but if it's possible, I would love to. Certain primetime songs I can use. Yeah, I'm not going to chance it. I'm not chancing it. Handoff to Lee. Gets some yardage there, 4th and 2. I think you go for it here if you're Houston. You don't want a big run back. If you get it, the game's pretty much over, or you score a touchdown, make it 3 possessions. If you don't get it, all right, Orlando, you're down 2 possessions, you gotta go 95 yards. Yeah, they're keeping the offense out there. McDonald's in there. Oh, McDonald's in there, not Silvers. All right, McDonald is in the game. Cole McDonald in the game. A highlight video of the best plays of my reaction. I might do that. McDonald, QB option, touchdown, ball game. That's all she wrote, folks. 30-12. Cole McDonald. E-I-E-I-O. Touchdown. Beautiful run. Why does SpongeBob get away with using NFL music? Oh, they paid for that. You can use the music if you pay for the rights. You can't use it for free. They get away with it because they paid licensing fees. That's how they get away with it. It's not getting away with it. It's paying for the rights to use the music. 1-point attempt to make it a 19.3 possession game to really put the nail in the coffin. Here we go. Drops back. And I think there has been one successful conversion across every game. 30-12. It is still a 2-possession game, folks. Do not go anywhere. It is not over. It is a 2-possession game. All you need is a touchdown, a 3-point conversion, an onside kick, a touchdown, another 3-point conversion, and right back in it. Oh, man, that botched kickoff, or that botched punt. Oh, man. The longest known regular season baseball game lasted 33.5 innings. I think someone's done a video on that. One. Yeah, it's pretty well known. Like, I'm not going to do stories on stuff that's already well known and that's been covered by other channels, because there are so many baseball history channels. I don't want to infringe on their territory. I want to talk about stuff that no one's talked about. Like, I can promise you, the stuff that is coming up this week on the channel, the first 2 videos, not counting the announcement video on Monday, you've never seen before. What will happen to my history videos after Tuesday? I get 100% of the revenue from them. Now, obviously, stuff can change. The NFL can still claim some videos and whatnot. But every claim that the NFL has done, I've successfully fought off. So, after Tuesday, there's only one video right now that I'm working on. It's the Super Bowl 6 drama video that I'm in a content ID dispute with. But, so all of my history vids, I make 100% of the revenue off of. Usually content creators, like I know Your Tree, they get content ID claims and they just take it. They don't try and fight it. They don't do anything like that. And you can check. You can go onto streamable.com, paste the YouTube link, and see if it's blocked by the NFL or not. Guys like Your Tree, they will not fight it. I fight it because I know the law's on my side. I also know what exactly to say in the filing, having gone to law school and everything. So I've had experience with this before. I took many classes on copyright and fair use and whatnot. So basically, I'm one of the few, which I'm very fortunate about, that makes money on every single video, and it's not claimed by the NFL. Not claimed by the NFL, but it does get claimed. But I fight it off. I'm not afraid to fight it off. And a sack there, it's a loss of about 5 or 4, 3rd or 14. Oh, man. And it's holding too? You're replaying the down? Wait, why are you replaying the down? 3rd and 14 versus 2nd and 20. Why are you replaying the down? Will UT and others ask you to help copyright claims? Not really claims. I don't really do anything about claims. I helped Brett Coleman out with a strike once. I helped Brett Coleman out with a video takedown once. But claims, I've not gotten that thing. I should also know I'm not taking the bar. I'm not a certified lawyer. I am not claiming to be a lawyer. I'm not claiming to do anything. Wait, it's 3rd and 14. Okay, they declined the penalty, right? They declined that. He's going deep. He's got him. He's got his bit. Oh, we dropped it. It's a nice throw, too. Drop there by Guidry. It's 4th and 14. All right, they declined the penalty. All right, you got to go for it here. This is the ball game, folks. This is the ball game. We still get over 60 people in the stream, which is awesome. Worst owner in baseball 2023. Rockies. I think we can finish 500 this year. What the heck kind of a statement is that? Pirates are also very bad. Reds are also terrible, but Rockies owner, I mean, by God. 2 minutes left in this one. Again, we're going to do this again next, for the next 2 games on Sunday. We're going to do a game between St. Louis and San Antonio, and we're going to do a live stream for the game between DC and Seattle. So those will be fun. After this stream is done, I'm going to work on the college football video. My editor finished the video that's going to come out tomorrow at 10 o'clock, so I'm going to look that over, make sure it's good to go. Then I'm going to work on another college video, get the footage for that, and then I'm going to work on the JG9 video that's coming out tomorrow morning, which I have no clue what it's going to be on. As a law student, what would you say is the worst NFL-related lawsuit of all time? There's so many. There's so many bizarre ones where they just never stood a chance. I don't know what the worst one would be. I have to think about that one. That's a good question. I don't know. I really enjoy these streams. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Compare the officials for the XFL and the 2 games today versus the NFL. They took themselves out of it, which I like. The expedited review helps a lot. Granted, the call they made today, it won't matter because the Guardians laid an egg. The call they made today, I think, was worse than most calls in the NFL with a touchdown. But at the end of the day, they did their part. They did their part. I really enjoy these streams. Thank you so much. Does the USFL one count? USFL won that one. USFL won that one. Granted, they won $3 out of it, but they did win. Trying to think a lawsuit where it was just complete nonsense. What was the one at the Super Bowl 54 halftime show? What was that one? That's probably the winner, and that got thrown out. What was the... Oh, the video coming out at 10 a.m. Mountain... No, Eastern time. I don't know. Eastern time. What was the law? Okay, wait, I'm looking it up. I know this was a law. Yeah. All right, yes. There was a minister who sued over the Super Bowl 54 halftime show because it was too inappropriate and it was like a strip club almost, and it like summoned the devil, and he was suing for $867 trillion. I think that's the winner. I think that's the winner. If the men's national team ever won the World Cup, what would I do? Cry tears of joy. Cry tears of joy. Yeah, probably stuff like what do you expect the damages to be? Because the NFL wasn't the only reason the USFL went out. There were so many things that the USFL did wrong, and that is going to be... Is that a pick six? Is that a pick six? No, he is down at the 8-yard line. So that'll probably be the game. They'll probably just take some knees. Hurricanes win the stadium game 4-1. Now my friends are going to be pretty happy about that. A great dominant victory for Houston, one of the title favorites. Orlando showing why they are one of the worst teams in the XFL in terms of the odds. Yeah, both games 42 points scored. The initial top 16 revealed by the selection committee. Tennessee slumping. Tennessee is slumping. I know that much. I know Tennessee is slumping a bit. Oh yeah, Super Bowl 54. Let me pull that up. I'll put the link in. Yeah, there was a lawsuit in Super Bowl 54. It's an Ohio minister who sued for $800. Yeah, Brett Favre, Pat McAfee. Yeah, that's up there. That's up there. First off, truth is an absolute defense to defamation. Absolute defense. If you can prove that they're telling the truth, you win. You win. On top of that, public figures are held to a different standard. So Favre has to show that McAfee not only knew that this was false, but spoke this falsity with reckless intent. It is so hard in this country to win a defamation lawsuit as a public figure. It is almost impossible. I'm currently somewhat in the middle of a battle with that right now with one of my videos. And I'm not worried because the law is on my side. I'm not going to reveal anything more than that, but I'm currently somewhat dealing with that. Nothing's been filed, but I'm somewhat dealing with that. Having said that, public figures are held to such a high standard, it is impossible to win a case like that. Unless the person, you can prove that the person knew was false and recklessly told it. And keep in mind, if the lawsuit gets filed, McAfee is allowed to go in discovery. He's allowed to go into discovery and investigate whether or not this was true or not. And he can find out more stuff. He can find out more stuff. Is XFL attendance worse today than when debut in 2020? Yes. Yes, it is worse. Texas teams, will they go 3-0? I think St. Louis beats San Antonio. Video on Philly losing the Super Bowl World Series, MLS Championship, and USFL Championship game all that year. Pretty well known. Best Olympics moment in my lifetime. Michael Phelps with the 8 gold medals, especially that relay. That relay was incredible. Favre is also repaying some of the money, so isn't that an indication of what he did was wrong? Is Orlando really burning timeouts? Just end the game. Just end the game. I mean, that's a good question. I don't know exactly if that is an indication. Because there are certain things, like certain deeds that you do that, like if you get into a car crash and you say for testimony, like, I'll help pay for your medical bills and whatnot, that's not an indication of fault. You can't use that in court. So there are certain things that are not admissible. Are the Lions on the right track? Yes, absolutely. How could they not be? They kept Ben Johnson. Offense looks great. Defense finally got it figured out. Second half, they were about the hottest team in football. They were great. Mike Goldberg is not the one suing me. He's not the one suing me. So I'm a Chiefs fan. Does that make me a Battlehawks fan now? I guess it's a handoff. No, going to keep it. Going to keep it, and he is short down at the 2-yard. No, he's down. The ball was out first. The ball was down first. Orlando burns their final timeout. No, I haven't hired anyone to represent me in my lawsuit. It's not even a lawsuit right now. It's more of I'm threatening to do this. I'm like, okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm not removing the video. Do whatever you want to do, because I know the law is on my side, and I know that I have the truth on my side too. So it's a whole saga that's been going on for about a year now, but it's fine. It actually provides me entertainment. Once their season starts, you plan on doing these streams for the USFL as well? Yeah, if this goes well, yeah. Bigger achievement in the Summer Olympics, Phelps or Jesse Owens? Historically speaking, for what it meant, Owens, but athletic-wise, I mean, what Phelps did was incredible. Do I watch B in Sport? Not anymore. I used to when they had the rights to USA games, but that was about it. It's not Reggie Rucker. It's not Rucker. 33-12, and that should be all she wrote. How long have I been doing YouTube? Since August 2019. First history video came out September 2019. Hit 1,000 subs February 2020, and it's just been all uphill from there. What if Brett Favre sued me? Do you realize how many more subscribers and how much more clout I would get if Brett Favre sued me? I haven't even said anything about Brett Favre. I've literally said nothing about him. I've only said positive stuff about his playing career. I've never even addressed the issue. If he wants to sue me for, I don't even know what he would sue me for. You can also as protection against saying sorry after an accident. Yeah, I think USA has, like, if you say sorry after an accident, like, I'll help to pay for your medical bills and whatnot. That's not admissible. That's not admissible. You can't get punished for being a good Samaritan in that sense. In that sense. For heat of the moment things after an accident that like are it's like one of the first things you learn in evidence. For like heat of the moment things that are like apologies and whatnot, you can't get in trouble for that. Brett Favre should be sued for what he's been doing this past several years. No comment on that, just because I want to protect myself. But yeah, I cannot believe that you've only been doing this for like COVID times plus a year. You have an identical memory. You're insanely knowledgeable to the point where I feel inadequate even. Thank you so much. I just love doing this. I mean, I've been following football for my whole life, but yeah, this is the first time I've done a live stream during a game too. So if you like what you see, we're gonna do a lot more of these. Out of bounds at the 29-yard line, 2nd and 4. This game just seems to mercifully end. I can't stop listening. Thank you so much. Well, I'll be on for 6 hours tomorrow. I'll be on for the St. Louis game against San Antonio, and I'll be on for the DC Seattle game. Hopefully I still have a voice, but so far we're doing well. First down. 3 possessions at this point. Let's just get some garbage time and just get out of here. I'm looking forward to receiving new gear from your store and opening kickoff in number 80 square plus a notebook. That is awesome. Thank you so much. I didn't realize you bought some. The 87, I didn't even publicize that. I just put that out as like a prototype. I have like, I was still trying to work on like the designs and whatnot for like what I want to do for that, but I can't like remove it. But that is awesome. Thank you so much. How much money have I raised all time? It's not really raising money. It's more of I get paid for AdSense and whatnot. Raised all the time. I mean, almost be like the Brett Favre sense. If it wasn't for JG9, I would pay no mind to the XFL or the USFL. All right, I'm doing good. I'm doing good things for the league, I guess. I'm an ambassador for the league. How many yards does Jermaine have? He has. Let me refresh. We have a flag on the play. Yeah, they really just stopped giving him the ball. 41 yards, that's it. But he had like 30 in the first quarter, and then they just stopped giving him the ball. This is a good workaround for NBA March Madness, just saying copyright-wise. I mean, it's not really a workaround. I mean, people do this all the time. As long as you don't show the game, you're totally fine. Deep throw down the field. It is caught down at the 30-yard line. Nice dive and grab there by Dedrick Thomas into Houston territory. 1st and 10. I'm staying home on a Saturday night just to watch JD9. That's awesome. Thank you so much. USFL, I would love to do that. Depends on how well these streams go. I would love to do that. It's also going to be around the time that I move, so it might be a bit chaotic, but I would love to do some USFL streams. How much time left? 50 seconds. 50 seconds too many. Caught at the 15-yard line, back shoulder throw. I mean, it was a bad throw, but Thomas once again with the grab. Coming alive in garbage time. Oh, Orlando used their challenge. I didn't even notice when Orlando used their challenge. Then, when did they use their challenge? Because you have to have a timeout to challenge. Did they use it on the fumble on 3rd down just because they were going to burn the timeout anyway, so you might as well? That's not a bad strategy, actually. If that's when they did it. Am I still streaming on Twitch? Trivia will still be on Twitch. Yeah. Trivia will still be on Twitch, yes. But actual live streams like this, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Did I say that someone streamed the Super Bowl on the last live stream? Yes, someone on Kick streamed the Super Bowl. They streamed the Super Bowl. They are going to get sued out the wazoo for that. I can tell you that much. The NFL will be cracking down on that. The NFL will be cracking down heavily on that. 150,000 people watched the live stream that someone had on Kick of the Super Bowl. Which was not a live stream like this. This is totally fine. It was not like a Tom Grossi live stream. It was not a Pat McAfee live stream. It was the live stream with the actual game. Kick is going to get sued. The YouTuber himself, or the kicker himself, I guess. I don't know what to call it. The content creator himself is going to get sued. Jump ball catch. It is intercepted. That one is a clean pick. Who made the pick on that one? I don't have a number 3 on my depth chart, so I cannot even... Oh, no, I do. Ajeen Harris with the pick. And that's the ball game. Interception by Houston. Turnover on downs. How much will the NFL sue Kick? How much lost revenue could you possibly get from 150,000 people? Fox will probably sue them also. We have a $1 from Weather Chart. Thank you so much for that. Kickster, yeah, that's the... Yeah, what's the, Yeah, so it was, Oh yeah, Kick's terms of service, also, I think it says that they're not liable for anything. It's completely the person streaming that is liable. So, I think it was Adden. I think that's the name. I think Adden is the name of the streamer. He's going to get sued like crazy. The NFL does not play around. The NFL does not. Yeah, the NFL tried to sue churches for using Super Bowl parties, yeah. Because it's a gathering they didn't pay. Because you got to pay for the rights to have a big party like that in a public space. So, 33-12, the final score. Houston goes to 1-0. The Guardians go to 0-1. I will be back here tomorrow. We will have 2 streams. We will have at 2:45 San Antonio, St. Louis. And at 8 o'clock, we will have or 7:45 rather, we will have the final game of the night, Seattle against DC. We're halfway through the first week. We got 2 down, 2 more to go. Until next time, Mr. Jargon and I signing off. Thank you guys so much for a great stream, and I will see you guys tomorrow in about 15 or so hours. So have a great rest of your night, everyone.